Any minute now. I'm upset. I had a whole intro ready, and guess who just shows up during the intro?
Just pops in.
Hops right in like nothing happened. Like
he was here the whole time.
Man.
What a diva.
Exactly. Well, welcome to tonight's episode of our sports show, also known as the DHC Sports Show. I'm your host for this evening, Virgil, the producer, and I am joined, looks like it's a panel of 4 today with Donnie, Patrick, and Eric. How are you guys doing today with this very slow sports news cycle? Really not a lot going on this week.
Doing fine.
Yeah, doing well. Doing well. How are you, Virgil?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Not happy with a certain result that happened today. But we're not going to talk about that because that's a Monday thing.
Yeah, same here. Mine didn't go well either.
So as always...
Sorry to interrupt. Was there Bundesliga 2 action today that I didn't? DFB Pokal?
Yeah, the Pokal, yeah.
Okay. So well, we'll have something to talk about Monday.
Tune into Monday night. Not right now.
But Patrick, if you want to look up the score, you'll see why
I will.
I'm saying just okay. So
I'll be doing that right now.
As always, this show is sponsored by Old Fort Baseball Co. Place to go to get some lovely shirts like the one Donnie's showing right there. Their support local baseball line's also really good. So usually you have to pay, full price, but with this, you don't have to. With the code Dad Hat, you get 15% off, and that's the entire order. So pretty good deal there. Now they also have a monthly sticker club, and just see, let's just look at this amazing. Look at this. This is the amazing work that we have from Mr. Mayor here, putting all the stickers up in the tree. I hope he didn't take the adhesive part off. That's going to be a problem getting those off later.
Oh no, they're just kind of balanced there on the thistle of the branches.
Now, you haven't gotten this month yet, have you?
No. December should be shipping out the end of this week. It usually ships on the 5th. So it'll usually arrives around the 9th or 10th. So middle to end of next week, I'll get it.
Okay, so next week we'll see what we have for December. But yeah, usually you'll have some lovely stickers that you see here. Mostly it'll be of teams, of even some Sandlot teams, maybe even some sites like a little baseball mapper right there. So usually that is $6. But with the code DHC, you can get that 50% off. Pretty good deal if you ask me.
Yep. And it comes with one of these really cool postcards, nice graphic each month. Also includes QR codes for each of the stickers that you receive that month. Takes you to a website or whatever information site they have for that particular item.
Yeah, so go over to Old Fort Baseball Co. and support our boy Logan.
Absolutely.
All right. So with that out of the way.
That's a great tree, by the way.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's Patrick's high school nickname, Thistle of the Branches.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the great tree. Don't know which one will work. So,
well, that was when he played church league basketball. He was the great tree in the lane.
You got nothing with that? Wow, you got Patrick speechless. I'm surprised. All right, guys. So let's go over, before we get into a whole lot of news and going over picks and fantasy, which fantasy may take probably an hour of this after some of the happenings this week. Let's go over what are we wearing and what are we drinking. And Donnie, I'm going to start with you.
All right. Well, what I'm wearing is it's actually one of 2 separate colorways that I have from Clink Room that I got last Christmas. It's Santa Claus dunking.
Oh, nice.
So he's dunking the gift into the stocking there, and so this is the red colorway. I also have the olive green with the same logo, but the olive green one actually comes with a Clink More beer glass patch, and they have the Clink Room logo on the back. So
That's awesome.
Some nice 5950s from those guys. I am
Shout out-
also wearing my Old Fort Baseball Support Local Baseball hoodie. Shout out to Clink Room with those guys out there. They're doing some really good work.
Shout out to my guy Casey over there. Does a great job with Clink Room.
Yep, absolutely. And tonight I'm drinking the second of my two 10W40 series from Highwire Brewing in Asheville. This is the caramel macchiato. So an imperial stout with high noon coffee, vanilla, caramel, and lactose.
And how much is it?
Percentage? This is 8%. It's not much.
It's not bad.
Now, what was the last NW40 that you had?
The last one I had was the what was I had last week? I don't have the can in here anymore either. I had to think on that one a second. Give me a moment. I'll come back up with that one. It was a little bit different. This one, actually, I think you guys will be receiving this week.
Very nice.
The one I had last week, I think there was only 2 of those. So one of you got left out, unfortunately, for this round.
Just say it. Okay.
I can't wait to get mine.
Okay, Patrick, how about you? What are you wearing? What are you drinking?
Tonight I am wearing the Los Cucuys from the Inland Empire 66ers. That's their Copa de la Diversión, which they always change it. So that's a really cool one. There's a little bit of a look for you. It's nice that they kind of change it up every year. Well, it's good and bad. It's good that it offers a little bit of variety, but it also is bad because they make a new hat that they want you to buy. But tonight I am also drinking in my Blue Jays cup some strawberry tea from my friends over at Y'all Sweet Tea that they were actually on Shark Tank. So I was trying their strawberry tea and it's really, really good. So that's what I'm wearing and drinking tonight.
All right. Which is that the new version of the Cucuys hat, or is that like a 2000?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the 2025 version.
Okay.
That was right here.
Very nice. Eric, how about you?
So today I got the Lehigh Valley Bacon hat. Went to Lehigh Valley. What year, Patrick? 2023?
I believe that was 2023. Yes.
And which version was it? What trip?
Let's see. Was that Prophet Palooza Junior?
Junior. Yeah, it was Junior.
See, I didn't need your help.
Patrick has my trips all memorized in his head. But Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, AAA of the Philadelphia Phillies, got their bacon identity, and it's the last of this one for me. Cadillac Rainbow from Divine Barrel. Ooh. It is a session sour ale with peach, mango, passion fruit, and guava. And I'm hopeful that they will have Lunchbox Confidential, and I smell colors soon if they don't already again. But the last of my group from Cadillac Rainbow is from Divine Barrel.
Very nice. Also, so for my hat, I am wearing the Spire City Ghost Towns. RIP. I wish they would come back, at least since I'm even as a alternate identity for Frederick, but I don't know if that's going to be. I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not, but do like this one. That's really even got the Atlantic League on the side there.
That's the colorway is awesome.
Oh, absolutely. And I have water. And also beer.
Whoa, let's see that.
Yeah, let's see that beer.
Come on by yourself.
For the first time in
Donnie. We don't care about Donnie.
Sorry, not Donnie.
What are we doing? There you go.
So for the first time in 4 months, I finally started to drink it again. This is the Enchanted Tiki Room made by Hidden Springs Brewery. And this is a pineapple soft serve inspired sour ale. So basically a Dole Whip sour ale.
I've never wanted a beer more in my life.
You were the first person I thought of when I saw this. There's a bottle store near me called Das Stall, and they had this in. So I'm going to try it out first, and if I like it, I'll make sure to grab you some.
Is that
so
from
what you just assume that if you don't like it, then I'm not going to?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
You sound like my
So-
wife, where she makes dinner and then she hands it over to us, but then she goes and grabs a scoop of it and it's like, hold on, let me try it first, and takes a bite. And she's like, got to make sure that everything's fine with it and everything.
I'm just looking out for people. I mean, I'm just that humble over here.
I
honestly
thought
don't-
Eric was going to say I never wanted to hug somebody more than you right now.
Well, I mean, basically, I don't know. I don't think there's any way I would not like that. That sounds like the perfect beer.
Yeah, that's
And
right up your
I've
alley.
only had
Yeah.
maybe 2 or 3 what I consider perfect beers, and that sounds like it could be one of them.
So Virgil, can you go over those ingredients again so I can take notes?
It is a pineapple soft serve inspired sour ale.
The best, you know what? The only thing you have left to do is to pour a little bit in a helmet for him. That's all you have to do. See, I've shared a room with this guy. I know the way to his heart.
More than just a room.
That's right.
Oh,
No,
wait.
But I didn't tell you goodbye when I left in the middle of the night.
Well, that's okay. I still come back for more. So, yeah. No, but did y'all blow my?
Nope.
Yes.
I bought one. I think I bought one.
I haven't bought.
Mm.
No, I didn't buy any.
I bought one because that was the only one that I could find on a sale. So I bought one that was on sale, and then that's the only one I got.
I did get one from New Era that's a holiday inspired hat. Well, I didn't get any team hats or anything this
Okay.
weekend.
Yeah,
So I got 2 hats that'll be coming soon from last week. And then, so my mom doesn't like doing online shopping. So she's like, if there's anything you want, go ahead and just get it. And then I'll just wrap it for you for Christmas. So I have a couple more that I already have them, know what they are, but they'll be coming for Christmas.
Yeah, I got a hat that my sister got me for my birthday. I think she got it probably like 6 months ago. So I just got it for my birthday. That was a month ago, but at Thanksgiving we all got together and I got the I'm gonna get this wrong. The new Copa identity for Canapolis. The ajolotes. Did I say that right?
Bless you, yes.
The ajolotes. So I finally got that hat, and so
I thought you already had that one.
no, my sister bought it for me for Christmas, and so she's had it for like 6 months, I think, at this point. So
Yeah, they sold out of the fitted really quick of that. I ended up getting a 920 on it.
yeah, well, I guess she got it when they still had their first run because I was like, I told her about it, and they had like 2 left when she ordered it. So that was a nice surprise. I forgot that she had it, honestly. So it was a nice surprise for sure.
Yeah. So Virgil, that other beer was the churro version of the 10W40
Okay.
I had. I was trying to remember. I just looked it up.
The reason I asked was because I saw that at the store today,
Okay.
and I was wondering if that's what it was. You wouldn't
Yeah.
like this. I won't send this to you.
Lynn, I've
Well, if
been
you
there.
see the churro, go ahead and get it because I didn't have one to send
Yeah.
you. Eric's going to get the churro.
So
That's
Hi,
what-
Mark.
hi Mark. This is not just one state or town. This is many different states. Says we're all from a different state, ironically. So
We got
welcome
South
to the show.
Carolina, Georgia, Kansas, and Alabama
Yep.
represented. So
So welcome to the show.
you have to pause on mine for a little bit. Like you have to think.
And North Carolina's not here to represent.
Yeah,
yeah, North Carolina's in Florida right now. So
yeah. And hi Laura, thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Um,
good to have you guys.
yep, and
Text K, maybe I'm sure TXTK.
yeah. So all of you that have been new, and yeah, we've been trying to show your text messages. Sorry, text messages. Oh my gosh, we're putting up your chat, so hopefully that works out. And thanks for joining us.
All right. So let's go over picks real quick. This was not a good week for a few people. Mostly just me. So with the winner of the picks got most of the FCS games right.
Congratulations, Donnie.
I don't know if it's me.
and did pretty well on the NFL picks too.
Congrats, Donnie.
So out of 42 games, the winner with a record of 31-11.
There's no way this dude.
Mr.
did
Poor
that
Mouth
well.
again.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh my god!
Did you see my fantasy football last week? I got 68
Yes,
points. I don't know what I'm doing.
We're not talking about that yet. We'll get
But
there.
we'll get to that.
And I'm not going to be in the playoffs because I didn't win one week. Yeah.
So congratulations,
Number
Patrick.
2 now.
So congratulations, Patrick, on winning 31 or winning this week picks. Second place was Eric at 30-12. Third place was Donnie at 29-13. Fourth place was Ed at 26-16. And once again, I have finished with a losing record of 19-23.
He does this on purpose to
He's
make
tanking.
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
He's tanking the picks so he
Spent off
wins.
the
Right,
fence a little bit, and
I
he'll be
am-
back next week.
I am tanking for the first round of fantasy draft pick. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, no, he's tanking so that he'll win all the college football playoff picks every week. Oh, I didn't realize that I was going to be so good at this. So
Oh, I don't expect to do good in the playoffs.
well,
I finished the worst in the FCS playoffs. So I mean, you would think I would have swept that. No, got too brazen and too bold on that.
he's going to say, I don't know what I'm doing.
Then said we'll go over. Actually, let me pull up one more thing on picks. I forgot we have to go over the unique picks that people made to see how they did on those. So let me go find these real quick. We won't talk about his accomplishments. He's not here. He doesn't deserve it. Donnie, you were the only person to pick Michigan over Ohio State.
That went well.
That did not work out for you.
I figured I'd try it.
I was the only person that picked Oklahoma State to beat Iowa State. We're just going to move on from that one.
Folks.
Was that spread or straight up?
That was straight up. I was the only person to pick Jacksonville State correctly to beat Western Kentucky. Let's see. Ed was the only person to pick Vanderbilt correctly, which he's not here for that, so who cares? I was the only person to pick Southern Miss to beat Troy. That did not work out either. Donnie, you were the only person to pick Stanford to cover against Notre Dame, so congratulations. The big one, in my opinion, Donnie, you were the only person to pick Yale to beat Youngstown State.
And what place did Donnie finish?
Third.
So where'd you go wrong?
That's what I'm trying to figure out because I
Yeah.
honestly thought I did win. I was trying to play it coy like Patrick does all the time, and I thought for sure
Boy.
with my Yale
He was-
pick and
He was waiting for his face to show up by himself on
I
the
know.
screen.
Could you see that
So-
smile that was beginning to show? He's like,
So where you went wrong was actually in the morning games.
Yeah, I know I shouldn't have picked Michigan. I was just taking a
Yeah.
flyer on that. That's one that was kind of a throwaway pick, but
Yeah,
Virgil,
you-
Donnie had that Thierry Henry smile. The one
Yeah,
that
I
goes
saw
around.
that. When I saw that smile, I'm like, oh, I'm about to crush this
The
man's heart.
Yeah, I said that he had that Thierry Henry smile going on.
And see, like I was kind of surprised you lost, Donnie, because you only missed one of the FCS games.
which one did I miss? Because I thought I got all of them, and I couldn't figure out which one I didn't pick.
You had Tennessee. You were with me and picked Tennessee Tech.
Oh,
over,
Tennessee Tech. Okay.
Oklahoma.
I couldn't remember if I had picked Tennessee Tech on that one or not. I thought maybe I had. Okay.
Yeah, but everything else, yeah. What killed you were mostly the morning games because you picked Georgia Tech, you picked Purdue to cover. They did. We all picked A&M. You picked Arizona State to beat Arizona. That didn't happen, and then Pitt to beat Miami.
Hmm.
So rough. You had a rough morning, but then after that, did pretty well.
I was gonna say he was like Mello. He didn't miss in the afternoon games.
Didn't miss until he did. Patrick, I have to give you props. You picked only person to pick Chicago to beat the Eagles. Let me see. I was the only person to pick Houston to beat the Colts. I was the only person to pick the Jets to beat the Falcons. And
that was a terrible game.
that was a terrible game. And Ed's going to say, I had to check. Okay, so the last one is a Donnie pick, but I had to go back and check the tapes to make sure that this was true because I have a feeling someone was going to complain if I said this one, but he's not here. Donnie, you were the only person to pick the Panthers to beat the Rams. So as much as Mr. Breakfast Takes said that he picked the Panthers, he did not pick the Panthers.
So the Carolina Courageous Donnies beat the Los Angeles Valiant Virgils.
We'll talk about that.
Well, and I couldn't remember. I didn't think Ed picked the Panthers either, because it seems like I thought he said something like, "Normally I got to go with the Panthers, but man, the Rams are just too good," or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did.
Yeah, and I think I said, "Well, I'm staying with the Panthers. They're my guys." So,
hey, good for you sticking to your guns. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Mike, I'm glad that you know that he's the only one of us that actually has the money to hire an analytics team.
Yeah, right.
So,
Right.
he's also hired someone to do his posting, to do, he has guys for everything. So good point. He's got his own Hembo. He's just, money, they always say money doesn't grow on trees, but it does at a certain residence in Lexington, South Carolina.
You guys ready to talk about fantasy now? Because I can already tell somebody's ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about this guy. Oh, I'm not going to make the playoffs. Oh, I'm not, I lost to Patrick one week, and Patrick's always talking about how he's losing, and Patrick's going to be in the playoffs, and then he's like, "Oh, look, I'm number 2 in the in fantasy football, and I've had injuries, but yet I've managed to overcome that, and I've got the second best record in fantasy football, and now I'm the number 2 seed."
If anybody looks at his roster this week, you can tell he purposely benched literally everyone so he would purposely lose. How do you have that bad of a week? You don't, unless you bench everybody.
I did not purposely bench everybody. I was you look at Jameson Williams, he got 0 the week before, and he got 26.9 this week. Algier gets like 10 yards a week, and sometimes he scores, sometimes he doesn't. I had Vidal and Jacobs, who both got double-digit points. Who would you have started?
Virgil, you were saying?
Let me go over standings real quick before we get into the actual games.
No, yeah, this guy right here. Yeah, this guy just
get rid of his controls, Virgil.
I don't have that ability. So
that guy right there that you saw on your full screen.
So in last place is Mr. Set and Forget on Official League at 2-11.
Yeah.
Then
who do you have this week, Eric?
Official League, baby.
Yeah. So
yeah, with Amari and Hampton. Have fun with that. So next we have a fourth place or 4-way tie for 10th with Mrs. Mayer, Dad Hat CFO, Terry McCutcheon, and Zach Profit, all at 5 and 8. Tied for 8th is Purple Rain, Mr. Lichtenberg, and of course me at 6 and 7.
Mocha Magic.
By himself at number 7, at 7th, and also eliminated from the playoffs officially, it's Dad Hat at 7 and 6. So then we have a 4-way tie for 3rd with Beeson, Tom Thrash, Mr. Wise, and Mr. Larson, all at 8 and 5. And 2 at the top, we have Influencer, EP, and Justin Kish on a 7-game win streak.
Justin's had a phenomenal run.
I got to play him this week too, man.
Do you really?
Go ahead and beat him for me, thanks.
Well, I mean, luckily for me, Jackson Dart has been his starting quarterback, and they're on bye this week. But the problem for me is both of my running backs and George Kittle are on bye this week, so I'm gonna have a tough shot right now.
But listen, if I can beat Kish, anybody can.
True story. Fact.
Well, you destroyed my team, so congratulations, Virgil, and props to Donnie, by the way. I know that it's not a 7-game winning streak, but you've kind of quietly just moved up the standings, and you've gotten yourself in a position to get into that winner's bracket. So good on you.
Thanks, sir.
So as for the games themselves, Dad Hat CFO beat Maniacs 119 to 89. Influencer beat Arkansas Gate Agents 109.04 to 86.14. Mrs. Mayor beats Beeson 112 to 98. Good to see.
What about that, Zach?
Purple Rain beats Official League 114 to 91. Laces out. You beat Thrash after a inspired performance by Mr. Singletary. 111 to 99. Kish beats Dad Hat 119 to 81. And the game of the week that everybody is talking about, Mocha Magic beats Gridiron Grades 96.74 to 68.62, which if you have not read the matchup recap for that, I am filing charges because that was hurtful to say that was boring. Absolutely hurtful.
We're suing.
Well, I know my game hinged on last night, and as you guys know, when we were recording or on last night for our other show, it was back and forth, man. It was crazy how I went from like 70% chance to lose to 70% chance to win to lose to win. It was back and forth.
Rhonda, you're a lot nicer than I am because I don't know if I would do that for Eric, but you know.
Yeah, we actually like each other, unlike you.
Well, I really do like you. That's the problem.
And see, if you guys do not remember on last Tuesday, I was given an ultimatum to either beat Patrick or be kicked off the show by Mr. Profit. Do I even get a thanks? Do I get a fruit basket? No, I get nothing.
No, he's a utilitarian.
Yeah, I just move on. So, thanks for nothing.
You're welcome. Anything for you.
I appreciate that. So, guys, let's go ahead and talk about some college football because, as you can imagine, really nothing major has happened. There's been a few small coaching changes there and there. So let's just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off and talk about Lane Kiffin going to LSU and just leaving a whole mess in general. Basically, if you just want to learn how to not leave a team, just watch what's happening over there because it just seems like whenever something bad happens, two other things. Once one thing gets cleared up, two other things just appear. So the first question I have for this is this actually a good fit?
It's a better fit than Brian Kelly at LSU, I can tell you that.
Well, I mean, that's true. But, does this actually inspire any sort of optimism? Really, Patrick, this is kind of for you, but just, and you're do you think, does this elevate LSU?
Well, I think based on who was available and who you could realistically get, I don't know that you could have gotten anyone better than Lane Kiffin. Yeah. Or I don't like the manner in which they got him, which is partially a problem with the way that the schedule falls. And because LSU, while guilty, is not the only party that's guilty of the way they went about getting coaches. I mean, I think I know a lot of us on this panel, I won't say all, but I know a lot of us on this panel don't like that there are coaches, there are teams that are in the college football playoff, conversation, and they now are without a coach. And that's really unfair to the players who can't even finish their season with head coach and staff that got them to the point that they're at, collectively between the players and the coaching staff.
But I was just to say when he was at FAU, he was expected to come to the SEC and take one of these bigger schools. A lot of people thought maybe he was going to take over for Alabama, or for Saban at Alabama, and some probably thought maybe he would go to LSU or maybe even Florida at the time. I mean, Ole Miss was kind of like a it's the best of what's available at the time for him, and I think everybody's always thought Lane Kiffin was going to go for a bigger program. I'm with you, Patrick. I just think how it was handled and the timing is not all on Lane Kiffin. No. That's just a product of the system, but he didn't handle a lot of this very well with the way. I mean, social media is a horrible thing for some of these situations too, because he's active on social media, but then he plays dumb about social media. And that's just like, come on, dude, just be honest. Just be like, hey, yeah, or just throw an answer out there that, I don't know when I'm going to make a decision, push it off, something. But he kept toying with the media, and that gets on my nerves a little bit.
Well, I don't know. Like Lane Kiffin's history doesn't help him in this scenario, right? I mean, it's with the situations at Alabama, the situation it's from Tennessee to USC, the Alabama to FAU. So his history doesn't help him, and then his checkered history with the Raiders. But I don't really blame him solely for this whole situation. I mean, if the timing was something that all the schools that wanted him gave him an ultimatum to say he needed to make a decision.
Yeah.
So I don't begrudge him that. I mean, I think it's easy to judge him when none of us were in that position, or if you're a goalish or anything else, it's magnified because of the fact it's Lane.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he handled it perfectly. I'm not saying that he doesn't bear some responsibility for some things that happen. Like if, depending on what's true and what's not, there's a lot of conjecture that's out there about that allegedly about the whole coordinator thing.
Yeah.
Did he put out an ultimatum? There's just a lot that we don't know. And I think I don't want to be irresponsible and just say that it's true when I have no way of knowing whether it is or not. But I think the bigger problem is the fact that National Signing Day is tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
well, it's early signing day. That's what I don't get.
Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's like, okay, so it's early. If I was a player, I'd just wait anyway.
Well, but he was told that he needed to have a decision, and that's a big decision to move your family like that. I mean, and he does have an ego and he does have ambition. I mean, I think that's nothing that we've never not known about Lane Kiffin. But
I'll say this: I think a lot of the things that have come out about these ultimatums and all that, I think all of that's BS. For all the flaws Lane has, I can't see him throwing out an ultimatum to the university about coaches and all, and maybe it'll be proven wrong. I just think that's a bunch of just clickbait bull crap. And ultimately, it does sound like his family made this decision a lot more than he did. I mean, hell, his girlfriend's boyfriend or his daughter's boyfriend is at LSU, so that had a big thing to do with that. But the funny thing I found was that he said in his press conference yesterday that he was glad to be at the university that was the greatest job in college football. And somebody today pulled out him making that exact same quote when he was hired at USC.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so which one is the greatest program in all of college football?
Well, in his defense, he's not the first one to ever make lofty statements about where you go. I mean, you're going to say it's the best job in football. A lot of people are going to do that. Not everyone, but certainly
you're playing to the fan base.
Of course, you want to ingratiate yourself to the fan base. But Virgil, to answer your question, I think it could potentially be a good hire, but he's got to. This is the opportunity where he has to prove he can win the big game. That's the big question mark with Lane. He's never won a conference title. He's never won a national championship. So he has to prove it here.
But was Ole Miss not that though? Because those were the same things we heard about at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, because it's
what do you mean?
Not winning, not making to the conference championship game, winning the big one. Those were the same issues that came up when he was in Tennessee.
Well, he's only at Tennessee 1 year, so that didn't last. And he wasn't at USC enough to do anything.
He was there for 1 year, yes, but those were still the expectations that were put on him.
Of course.
So
yeah, and
I don't see why he couldn't have continued at. He couldn't have made Mississippi State a contender year in and year out. I think he has them on the path. I think he's the kind of coach that could potentially do that. It's just the optic is, well, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, and Florida. That's the SEC. Like, you never mention Ole Miss when you say, oh, what, the SEC, man, they got some great teams. Ole Miss is way down the list normally. And he was changing that. And it's funny because it's like, okay, well, you say Ole Miss can never win a national championship. Well, then why the hell did you take the job there?
Well, probably because there were no other SEC schools that would take him at that point.
Exactly.
Pretty
It was a
because-
placeholder school for him to get into the SEC and show he could do something.
Well, because Auburn wanted him 2 years ago,
Yeah.
right.
and then he turned down the job. But there's also, if depending on who you believe, there's also conjecture that last year he was lobbying for the Alabama job, but they didn't want him because of prior experience, prior experience with the whole, offensive coordinator thing, and like a 24 hours before the national championship game.
Yeah.
So Lane comes with, what you're getting with Lane. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
you know what you're bringing on. I don't think, you weren't going to get a Nick Saban coming back to LSU. You weren't going to get, like Kirby Smart's not going anywhere. So the real top 2-3 coaches are not going anywhere. And so
Florida really was the only other option, I think, for him to leave Ole Miss and try to go to one of the quote unquote big program SEC schools.
Yeah. But so I think based on who was available, I don't know that they could have gotten a better candidate than Lane, based only saying that based on who was available. But
yeah.
Here's the thing with Lane, it's hard to know. It could go really well. It could also blow up in your face spectacularly. Very much like you were going to have with Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
I actually have more faith about Lane being there than Brian Kelly, because I do think it's a better fit. I never thought Brian Kelly was a great hire. I was never inspired by that. I like that Lane knows how to use the transfer portal if it's going to be there. I think he knows how to operate it. I think the fact that he has some pro experience is an advantage in this case. So I'll see what happens, but I really do feel for Ole Miss and how this has happened. Most of all for the players, because I hate that they're kind of a victim of all this. Not that Lane wanted it to happen that way, but whether you wanted it to or not, the fact remains it's the players that suffer on this at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And staff members that are impacted by it. When a coach makes a decision like this at a big school like that, or really any school, there's a lot of lives that are affected by it.
There is no talking points on that whatsoever, Michael. So next question. Thank you.
So, Eric, what are your thoughts?
I'm more interested in if that's your mom there or someone else that we need to find out who that is.
Don't worry about it.
I knew you were going to say that.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of. Is a good fit? It's too early to tell. Honestly, we need to have some games. He had some good years at Ole Miss, but like everybody said, he hasn't won anything yet. So I honestly think, I don't know if it was between, obviously Ole Miss staying there, but between LSU or Florida, I definitely don't see him going to Florida. I don't know why. I just don't think that would have been a good fit for him. Maybe it's just because Florida hasn't done a whole lot since the Tim Tebow days. But for me, I don't know. I think just time will tell. The way people are talking about how much NIL money that he has, how much is he going to – yeah, Michael, because we know that they deserve to be there and Miami doesn't. So there's nothing to expect.
Mike, you're not going to change his mind. He's stone cold locked into this, and so let's move on from Notre Dame, because
ignoring the fact that Miami lost to Louisville and SMU, why are we comparing the one? I'm sure they play each other and win, but
we have a guy that knows ball. Is that what we're saying here? Oh my goodness!
I actually agree with him.
I tried Mike. I've tried Mike. I've given up on it.
Listen to this ACC nonsense bias over here in the top right corner. So.
All I can say is he rattled off today about the fact that Notre Dame rattled off 10 wins, and if you look at that, 5 of those have a less than 500 record, and 4 of them are the bottom teams in their conferences. The bottom, not at the near the bottom, the last place team in their conferences. So. He's still not going to change his mind, so I've moved on.
Is it our fault those teams suck? No. Did we beat them by double digits? Yes. Are we the eye test a playoff team? Yes. Do we have the Heisman Trophy
that part
winner?
is no.
Yes. What?
Well,
the eye test is a no.
Well,
Maybe the
because
Heisman
you're
Trophy
97, you can't see.
because you're putting up double digit against almost high school teams.
I can guarantee you have not watched one of their games this year.
I have
If you're
watched
trying
one
to
of their
tell
games.
me
I have.
that they are not part of the eye test, a playoff team.
We'll see how far they go.
Just remember that they did.
Finish your
You
lane,
said that
Kiffin.
last year, and we got to the national championship game. We
They
beat
did.
Indiana, Penn State, Georgia. I don't know what else you want to do. The
They
common
did
opponents
beat a
don't matter.
team,
Mike, Syracuse. Look it up. How much did Miami put up against Syracuse? Like 30. How much did Notre Dame? 70. This common opponent doesn't matter. You guys, well, not you guys, because I don't know that you're a Miami, but they lost to Louisville. They lost to SMU, who are both 4-loss teams. Our 2 losses were at the beginning of the year. First-year quarterback playing his very first game on the road, lost by 3 on a field goal with a minute left. And then they lost at 1 at home in the first home game for the freshman with a bad non-holding call that would have brought that back and we would have won, and a missed extra point. And then
Mike,
it doesn't take much.
Mike accomplished his mission that he learned when he was in the Army. He threw the grenade and walked away.
Yep.
He was just trying to get you riled up, and he did. So go ahead and finish your point on Lane, though. You actually had a good point on Lane, and I interrupted you as well.
I don't know what I was saying at that point.
Were you talking about Florida wasn't a good fit?
You said we don't know yet.
Wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For whatever reason, I just didn't see it because I heard, and maybe that wasn't real, that it was maybe only LSU or staying at Ole Miss, but I did hear Florida at a point. And I don't know, they just, for whatever reason, like I said, Florida just hasn't seemed super relevant. Now, he could have made them another contender again, but at the same time, I just don't think of right now Florida as much of a very good college football team. They have been, like I said, when they were Tebow. Did they win twice back-to-back with Tebow?
Yeah.
Yep.
So they, back in the day, they were, but nowadays,
this point in time, Florida would have been a lateral move. LSU is more of an advance.
Right. At that point, yeah, I would have just stayed at Ole Miss. So, yeah, it sucks that, obviously for all the, people that the last 6 years that he gave everything to at Ole Miss and everything, and then just kind of the way it left and all that. I definitely don't think that. I can guarantee you that. Texas definitely doesn't deserve it with their 3 losses, and neither does Vanderbilt. And guess what? Diego Pavia is not the Heisman winner. So I don't know this whole, they're trying to get him to be the Heisman winner at this point. Just give it, if you're just going to give it to quarterback, make it a quarterback award, because we all know Jeremiah Love is the best dynamic player in all of college football. And the only reason why he didn't win the Heisman with his performance on Saturday is because he got hurt. First drive, 60 yards on the ground, scored the touchdown, was the workhorse on the very first drive. Second drive, going down, did a spin move, got tackled by 4 guys, and the dude came in. Hard to tell if it was on purpose, but got kneed in the ribs, was out majority of the rest of the first half, came back in, played just a very few snaps in the second half, and by then it was a blowout anyway, so he didn't play much of the rest of the game. And so, of course, that took a Heisman hit right there. But we all know who the best player in the country is.
So I've got a stat for you.
Or Jeremiah Love.
I've got a legit stat for you that I think shows he's going to win it this year.
No, there's no way he's going to.
Every year that they've given out the Heisman Trophy, every year that it's been given out, the year that ends with a number 5, a running back has won it. Every year.
I saw that. However, they're going to give it to whoever wins the 1 versus 2 matchup. And also, on that same note, game days at the SEC championship, why aren't they at 1 versus 2? That makes no sense at all.
Because
they love the
ownership
SEC.
stake of SEC.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're protecting their investment.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's wrong.
But I believe it's either going to go to Sayin or Mendoza, whoever wins this game, and it's the top seed going into the playoffs.
But
the big noon guys
were
York. Yeah, the Big Noon guys were like, we're taking this game because it's Big Ten game.
That makes sense. Sorry, Patrick, what?
No, I said, do you think Jeremiah Love gets invited to New York, though?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Pavia, Sayin, Mendoza, and Love. And it's obviously going to go to no?
I don't even agree with Pavia being invited to New York. I think Simpson should be invited more than Pavia.
What about Q on Lacey? Let's put 2 running backs over there.
Just 2 running backs. Oh yeah.
But the thing with Notre Dame is, even with the outstanding year that Jeremiah Love's had, the second string running back, the second drive, he took pretty much all the snaps, went down and scored. Our third string running back took the snaps in the second half, went down and scored. So our top 3 running backs, we have 2 guys right behind him, Love, Price, and Williams. And because the first 2 are going to graduate, Aeneas Williams is going to probably step up to be the top running back unless they bring somebody in, because we're still looking at Kamon Spell possibly. He hasn't decided yet, but hopefully he chooses 5-star running back, chooses Notre Dame. But yeah, that's one of the things, is that even though he got hurt, they didn't miss a beat, the running back. But that's also another thing where he's the feature back, but he's not always in there, because there'll be entire series where he's not in there because they have a second and third string running back that are just as powerful as a lot of starting running backs. So it's hard saying. They're doing a huge push right now, like on Twitter, to get Pavia to not only go to New York, but win the Heisman. Their ADs all over Twitter saying why they should be in the playoff. Of course, Sarkisian is running his mouth thinking they should be in the playoffs in Texas. And you know how we had 4-team playoffs, none of this would matter. We wouldn't be talking about it, because now we're talking about the 13th, 14th teams.
The more you add, the more you complain.
Do we go to 16? And if we do, then the 17th and 18th seeds complain that they didn't get in.
Well, it's an insatiable appetite, right? Like it's like when you say that, like when you have an addiction for something, and it's like you never have enough of a taste for it. So it would be like that no matter how broad you make the field, because like you said, even if you do like 20 teams, it's going to be like you said, 21 and 22 are going to be like, well, we can make a case, and you're never going to make everybody happy regardless of what you do.
Well,
that's why March Madness is like stupid many of teams now. It's like, they went to 68.
Yeah.
Oh, and no,
they're talking about going to 70 something.
Even with 68, they still complain. Like North Carolina getting in.
Yeah.
This year was a perfect example of that.
It's like, shut up.
Well, we've got to have a story to talk about, right? Because I mean, isn't it always a subject every year? Like, who are the ones likely to get in, but who are the snubs? I mean, we have articles, and we have Sports Center segments, and we have YouTube videos all about snubs and about.
This is what I would do. I would go back to the BCS formula with the computers and everything with 16 teams, because the formula worked. The problem was you only had 2 teams, and everybody's like, what? But the computers picked the computers seemed to be always having, nobody seemed to have a problem with the order of the teams except for 1 and 2, just because of their, they're like, oh, we're better than blah, blah, blah. But everything every year worked out. It was just, there was only 2 teams. I think if they went back to that and took this committee mess out of it with the human aspect, or made the human aspect one of those portions, which maybe the BCS did have the human part, but it was like 12 different computer rankings as well.
It did. The BCS had a human portion, and that's why 2011 got messed up the way it did.
Right. So maybe you take all of that out, you go with just the computer rankings, all of the numbers, all of the analytics, and say, okay, we got 16 teams. You're ranked top 16. Forget all these tie-ins and bull crap, and boom, here's 1 through 16, and boom, you're in the playoffs.
What was Ohio State last year? 6 seed?
Something weird.
They were 8.
Yeah. So it was 7 versus 8 in the championship. So, I mean, these teams, obviously, we want to get some of these teams that are not the top 2 to get in. But at what point, where do you stop because if you look realistically, let's say the top 16, most of the teams are going to be undefeated, 1 loss or 2 loss. Beyond that, once you're at 17 range-ish, you could have a few out there, but most of them are going to be 3-loss teams. I think somewhere you got to stop it where you're not going to have, 3-loss teams. I'd say any of these teams that are 2-loss, 1 or undefeated is kind of where it caps it right there at the roughly around this top 16 seeds. Now, you could have these teams that are 1 loss and they haven't played anybody, but the true, top, whatever it is, 16. So I don't know if 16 is the answer, But obviously we thought 12 was better, and now nobody likes 12 because 13, 14, 15 right in there, Texas, Miami, Vanderbilt all think they should get in. And I don't say I disagree. I think they all could have a chance, but then at what point do we stop after that?
Well, if you go to 16, you don't have the buys, and you take away the buys, and everybody plays, and it's just a straightforward tournament. And
Man, if
to me,
only
that's
there
a lot
was
cleaner.
if only there was a football league that would have a playoff system already set.
Oh yeah,
that
that's been doing
makes
it for
sense
years.
people. That's been doing it for years and hardly changes.
You know what?
allows
And-
all their conference
and-
champions to be in it. I mean, who would come up
And
with that?
final exams that semester have never been a problem for those schools.
No,
Tune
and
in
there's
on
even Ivy
Monday
League
to
schools
find
in
out
there.
more.
Yeah. See, and I think things like the North Texas James Madison situation, those guys would be higher based on computer and analytics than they are right now. They're kind of giving them a little bit of their due at 24, 25 because they kind of have to. But I think they would be. I would like to see. I wish somebody would do. Maybe you can find it on the internet. I think someone at one time a few years ago was actually still processing things that way to see what it would look like.
Yeah, there's somebody. I forgot the guy's name, but there's somebody out there doing that.
Yeah.
Why would we want to have 4 buys? Because do we remember last year? What happened to the teams that had buys last year in the
Yeah.
playoffs?
They
Lost
lost.
first round, or
Yeah.
lost their first game, not first round, but
They lost.
so at this point, why have buys? Obviously, that didn't work out because you have 3 weeks, almost a month, basically, since if you don't play in the championship game, which more than likely you would, but you play in there and have a good couple weeks off, and then it's just like they all lose. So why not just go straight into having every team play, no buys?
Yeah, I think that's the situation that it'll eventually get to. I think the teams that are getting the buys want the buys until they're not the team getting the buy. So Ohio State, Indiana, they're all, or whatever, whoever ends up the top 4, they're going to be like, oh, we need the buy because we've earned it. But if you were the 5th team, you'd be like, oh, we should have got a buy. We're better than these guys. Just take away the buy. Just make it so clean. And again, take a lot of this group of people deciding all of this out of it and go by really what the true numbers say. I'm not an analytics guy normally, but this is a situation where when they were doing it for the BCS, it worked. People didn't really complain about who was down the line because they couldn't complain because you only had 2 teams in the playoff. But they also liked where all the other teams fell in relationship to the bowl games they were going to be in. So let's give that a try again.
I'll go back to answer this question. I believe Georgia got in because they actually beat Texas. So it was, since they did not play head to head, it was by common opponents, and Texas, Georgia did beat.
Yeah, the SEC and ACC formula for the championship game is convoluted mess, is what it is.
Yeah,
It's so unneeded.
Well, didn't they do away with the conferences, and it's the top 2 teams, and it's the top 2 teams in the conference that get in, which I know that based on conference record they would have been tied, but then it went to those tiebreakers. And
see, that's where it's messed up, because if you just take the top 2 you should be the highest 2 ranked teams in the conference. So Georgia and Ole Miss should be playing for the championship this week because they're both the highest ranked.
Michael, Joe wants you to answer this question. So Miami doesn't play Notre Dame week 1. They play Ecuador Tech Community College. Notre Dame plays, I don't know, Connecticut, whatever. Okay, so then Miami still loses both their conference games. They're a 2-loss team at 10-2. Notre Dame beats that cupcake. They're 11-1. They still get in. So that argument wouldn't matter right there if they just played random teams, because Miami's 2 losses were in conference to bad teams.
Yeah.
Also, Notre Dame has a victory over somebody that's playing in their conference championship game, and Miami does not.
Yeah, that's what that Duke has no business being in there. That is the stupidest thing. I just
what
aggravates the hell out of me.
If
what
they
a job
win,
Manny Diaz has done at Duke.
if they win
if they
then
win it, then nobody in the
JM
ACC gets in.
JMU and Tulane or North Texas gets in, which that's another thing, and I've talked about that, is North Texas, JMU, Tulane all have a chance to make that last playoff spot. All three coaches are gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I do not like. And then Lane, his team's in the playoff. Now, I sent that to you guys earlier. Charlie Weiss Jr., it's Junior Virgil, by the way, which I know you knew that, but
not what the headline said. Just saying. I thought maybe
I didn't write the headline.
I
Look
thought
like
maybe
Mark Wahlberg.
That's on the same medication I was.
He got on the plane with Lane to Baton Rouge, but then Lane's like, I'll still let you go down there and coach the team. Offensive, wasn't he the offensive coordinator? Because the defensive coordinator is the head coach. Let him coach the team, try to win the playoff. And then I'm assuming he's going to go back to Baton Rouge at that point.
Absolutely.
Which that's kind of interesting that their AD wouldn't let Lane coach. However, he's fine with Lane telling him to go back and coach. I don't know if I understand that, I guess.
Well, honestly, I think it comes down to the fact that and I think Marty Smith said this on ESPN, but Keith Carter, their AD, basically said, I have to live here in Oxford. Can you imagine what the faithful would do if they knew he was leaving LSU and leaving the program, and then he allowed Lane Kiffin to stay and coach the team?
Yeah, it's an optics and a pissing match from a head coach standpoint, but at the same time, Ole Miss, why would they have a problem with an offensive coordinator helping this team try to win?
Right.
Because he's not the face of the program, he's not the head coach, and he's going to leave anyway, but he's not the guy. They've already promoted the DC to be the guy, so they could care less if he's there because he provides continuity for the team and disrupts the actual play on the field a lot less. They just not going to let Lane do it.
And he's not the one that made the decision.
True.
Yes, he has made a decision to join Lane Kiffin, but Lane's going to be the one that takes the fall for it, not, in my opinion, not Charlie Weiss Jr.
How do you feel about Marty Smith when he's standing there? What is that, on the tarmac, basically just talking to the Lane, doing that interview and everything, and at the end they kind of, thanks brother, gave each other a hug kind of thing. I thought that was kind of funny, but
I love Marty Smith. He's goofy as hell though.
Well, he is, but I loved hearing his story about what he had to do to get over to the tarmac. And he drove that van.
Yeah, Lane's like, you went around, like, so, I saw you go around all these fire trucks and stuff over here to get to me.
So basically there was a barricade that kept him from getting over to the tarmac. So he noticed there was this like valley down there where he took this van that he had that he calls his loaf of bread. And he went down this ravine and he drove up like this hill and he just
went off-road.
He went off-road. He off-roaded it just to try to get up to the tarmac. And he said he got up there and Lane was laughing his butt off, just saying, kind of admiring his he was texting with Lane the whole time, Lane telling him where he was. And then Lane, I think, was impressed with his diligence in trying to get the interview. But it's a much funnier story when Marty Smith tells it, obviously, but apparently like he had this van where he could fit. And if he didn't have that van, he couldn't fit the whole crew and the equipment they needed to be able to do the interview. He had all that in that van. So
apparently, to be able to get that basically exclusive rights for that interview, like the first true interview, must have been saying something about Marty and everything.
And Marty
has a relationship.
Yeah,
he has a relationship with him anyway. So
yeah. So I thought that was really good points about the coaches. It's just a shame that every good coach from like a smaller or perceived smaller school that that was any good at all is now basically gone, and they've gone to one of the Power 5 school programs.
Yeah,
but that's just the nature of college football in general.
It is. I don't begrudge them from having those opportunities. It's what like I said earlier, I hate the timing of it.
I get that.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
No, but I mean,
it'd be more the coach in this aspect. But
you know what I mean.
Not really. No. So
no idea what you're talking about.
So about some of the other coaching hires, some make sense, some are a little head scratching, in my opinion. So I was going to go through the list here that I've got here. So Colorado State hired Jim Mora after firing Jay Norvell. Arkansas, after losing out on Golish and Morris, has hired Ryan Silverfield from Memphis.
Wait, I thought Donnie said that he was going to Arkansas.
Reports were he was, and it wasn't just the one that I sent you guys. It really wasn't.
Who talking about Eric Morris or
No,
Golish?
Golish. He sent an Adon Schluffler type article that everybody completely knew that wasn't true.
It was somebody.
It was somebody
within the It was somebody within the, not the Razorbacks school, but within the Razorback.
The Razorback Business Board.
Oh, was it Pete Hornell?
Yeah, something like that. No. But he wasn't the only one. There was because I looked, there were about 6 or 8 other reports that he was finalizing a deal, and then it didn't happen.
I do have to defend Donnie on this. I did see some sources about that coming out.
It was Bobby Cotrino that was saying that.
Going over, let's see. So there's that one. Golish to Auburn. I think that's going to be a real good fit. I'm a little surprised Florida did not make the play for this one, that he went to Auburn.
Yeah. Did you hear Golish is keeping DJ Durkin as defensive coordinator, though?
I mean, it can't all be winners.
Yeah.
I mean, DJ Durkin sounds like something you'd be arrested at a rate for. So, I mean, I don't like the dude.
No. Well, I was surprised that he's retaining him, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Well, sometimes you get these guys that, and do you happen to know if the DC is involved in the recruiting? Because sometimes they'll hang on to a guy for that first season if he's heavily involved with the team to kind of transition and see if he's going to be a fit to his staff.
They allegedly have like a good relationship from like that extended before Golish ever got to Auburn.
Gotcha.
But I think I got the sense he wanted a familiar face on the staff, or like someone who knows the place and can kind of get him. You know, he obviously didn't have a specific DC in mind to come in with them. So I think in the absence of that,
most coaches will keep a few guys from the previous staff. So,
but the hire that I saw, and when this one got announced, I was like, really? John Summerall to Florida. This one does not make sense to me.
I think he would have been, I mean, obviously the money, but I think he would have been better off just staying at Tulane.
Well, I thought he was going to be the Auburn job, or if Kentucky opened up a week earlier than what they did, probably Kentucky, because he has a connection to Kentucky. But Florida was like the ones I don't know if that's going to work. I hope it does. I mean, I'm cheering for the guy, but I'm not sure about that one.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think, I mean, it doesn't sound like really anybody would be a good fit there. I'm just, that you don't think of them right now as a football school. They just won a national championship in basketball, and they've been good with Joe Kim Noah days back in the day and Tim Tebow, but it just recently
back there.
Nobody, for whatever reason, nobody thinks of the only reason why we're even seeing or hearing much about Florida is just how bad Napier was.
You don't think about Chris Leak?
Joe Kim Noah is enjoying his retirement right now from the NBA. He's been gone for the NBA. So
man, that was a good callback.
That's a good callback though. Joe Kim Noah, that dude can ball.
This is Al Horford erasure. What are you guys talking about?
I mean,
credit. My God.
Florida and Florida's like Tennessee. They kind of for a while have gone to the wayside of the SEC. Tennessee's obviously come back a lot better with Heupel. Florida, you're right. Florida's was one of the premier teams that you mentioned with the SEC for a long time.
Yeah.
And they're just not that anymore. I mean, maybe they will get back. They'll probably be a middling team for a long time before they get if they even get back up there. That's the problem with the conferences. They brought in all these other teams that thought they were big dogs elsewhere also, and they were going to come to the SEC and be big dogs there. All they're doing is just muddying the waters of the conference.
But he was a good basketball player in Florida for sure.
Yeah.
Was he ever that good at Chicago?
Well, he was his first 2 seasons, and then he got injured. He had a multitude of injuries, and just he I think he lost almost one full season to an injury.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that. I didn't even think he was all that great in his first year, but it was like years 2 and 3 that he really started to kind of come into his own.
He came around, and then the injuries for a couple of seasons of injuries, and he just kind of. And I think he bounced to a couple of other teams after the Bulls.
What is it with the Bulls players, Derrick Rose, all those guys just always getting hurt?
It's a shit organization it was a shit organization when Jordan was there. So he was Jordan.
Question. I know that Virgil will probably have a good answer on this. What do you think at this point is going to happen with the American now that you have North Texas with Morris gone, Silverman gone from Memphis, Galesh from USF, Tulane, like all those big name, they lost like their top 4 basically head coaches in the league. How do you think the American's going to look now?
I mean, I don't want to say all eyes on Navy here. I mean, as Navy seems to be the consistent team in all this.
Because what's the dude's name that's running them now? It's because they had the
Hawaiian guy, but he's not. It's not him.
Right, he's not there anymore. But it's the older guy with the big white beard. Has been there the last 2 years.
Brian Newberry.
Yeah, so they're good. But so I can see them. But then outside of that, I mean, the rest of the 4 main top teams, they all lost their head coaches, which good for them that they're getting better jobs, but it sucks for the conference as a whole.
Yeah, I kind of want to withhold judgment until I see what some of the other coaches hire. Because really, like, you have Neil Brown's coming to North Texas. That does nothing for me.
See, that's what I was going to say. I don't even know what that.
That's more of a you can't fire me, I quit situation with West Virginia.
Yeah,
because like he was not. I would be shocked if he was there next year at West Virginia. So I think he can kind of beat them to the punch, honestly.
And I will not be at the American Championship game because 1, it's on Friday, not Saturday, and 2, it's in New Orleans, not Denton. So I will not be there. Sorry.
So wait a minute.
Patrick thinks that I can travel there, but
North Texas.
I know you can travel there.
Is North Texas not the higher seed? So it's not it's a neutral or neutral, even though Tulane's there.
It's in New Orleans, so
it's at Ullman Stadium in New Orleans.
Okay, so I was gonna say if you could verify that, but that's what I was thinking.
So, by the way, it's not lost on me that Florida is basically getting rid of a coach that was from a Group of 5 team in Louisiana and replacing him with another coach from a Group of 5 team in Louisiana. So
I didn't think about that. Was Billy Napier? Was he Louisiana Tech? Is that
Lafayette?
Lafayette. Okay.
Lafayette.
But did you happen to see any of like the clips from John Summerall's press conference where he brought up Lane Kiffin and he goes, I talked to Lane and he agreed I was the best person for this job?
No, I did not know that.
I heard that. I didn't see the actual, but I heard that.
Yeah. And I didn't know what to think of that. I was like, was it really necessary for you to bring up Lane Kiffin in that scenario? He said because they were good friends and he just had to pick on him. But I was like, just make the job your own. You don't need to bring up Lane in that. Just talk about what you're going to do.
So quick aside, real quick, Eric, next time I go to the store, I will make sure to grab a pack of that beer, but you're going to have to split with Samantha.
That's fine. She'd love it. That's what usually she comes over and I go out to the beer fridge and crack something open. And if it's something that I only have one of, I'll just, split it with her or whatever. But so it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I need you to get me a pack because I just looked and it's not within 200 miles of me right now. So,
hey, I've traveled all the way to basically Denton, Texas, south of Denton, Texas, to get beer before. So
it showed that it was at Total Wine. I'm like, ooh, cool. I look now, the closest Total Wine to me that it is at is in Tampa. And I'm not driving to Tampa for a 4-pack of beer.
Man, honestly, just pay for Grubhub to deliver it to you. Just pay someone to drive up.
No, honestly, I may just I may go there tomorrow or Thursday and just pick up the rest of it.
Yeah,
for you guys.
But yeah, I'll give her some. She'd like it.
To go back to the American question, like I said, we talked about some of the vacancies there. I also kind of want to see who takes over some of those jobs because I think another job. I don't think they have filled their vacancy yet, unless if they have. I haven't seen the announcement. I'm curious what UAB does.
Well, all these guys are like the next wave of ACC and SEC coaches in 3 years.
So do you not think Alex Mortenson's going to get the permanent?
I
Did he
don't think so.
didn't do much in his.
I think after the Memphis win, it just kind of.
See, that's still such a weird. That had to be just the team was hyped to play for Mortensen, and then after that, yeah, they just didn't.
Yeah, I think it's one of those perfect storm games. It was a rivalry game. It was after a coach being fired. You were starting a new quarterback. There was just a lot going into that game.
Well, and now that you've got like your UABs and the American Conference, was it 3 of the 4 teams that haven't hired a head coach yet?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're going to get the next coach because they'll turn down Penn State and accept one of those jobs?
I mean, it seems like everybody's turning down Penn State at this point.
Yeah. That's my point. I'm like, is Penn State going to have a coach? Because they've missed out on basically the desirable ones.
They're going to get somebody that's like 2 or 3 times worse than James Franklin, and they're stuck with him. Like they have no other option.
Hey, do you have an offensive coordinator you don't want, Donnie, that you can send to State College?
I will send him in a heartbeat, but he is not prepared for that.
Well, no,
I'm still thinking on. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
When I was just going to say, make sure that he has to pay that buyout before you let him leave, because I know you don't want to let him go.
No, we talked about this last night, and I'm happy to see him go. I know y'all don't want him to go where he's mentioned, but but I I will pack the van and I'll drive you to Texas. So,
real quick, speaking of beers, I had to look it up. On tap right now at Divine Barrel, Lunchbox Confidential and I Smell Colors are both on tap.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I would assume they would probably have cans.
Yep. Okay. I am possibly going to go up to Charlotte next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, if I can convince Mrs. Mayer to go up there for a Checkers game.
Do you really have to convince her of that, though?
It's a Wednesday night, so yeah, she's working pretty hard right now. That'll take some convincing.
If you get a 4-pack of the Lunchbox Confidential, I won't be mad.
If you send it for free, he won't be mad.
No, I'm going to repay. I'll flip something back to him in return.
He has 2 boxes coming Thursday.
There'll just be a card that says thanks.
Well, the stuff for Shannon wouldn't fit in the box I already had for your stuff, so I had to kind of separate it into 2 separate boxes.
Yeah. By the way, Virgil, it's not a full size card. It's one of those little small ones that he sends along, and it's like, yeah, thanks.
She said, Donnie's like, oh, is it too late? Can I still get the stuff to you?
I know. I saw her picture of everything under the tree for the kids. The kids are going to be so excited. I'm like, crap, did I wait too long to send it to her? Like, I thought, oh shit, the kids are going to get the stuff this week before my stuff gets there. But no, she was just preparing for.
Yeah, she's just getting prepped and wrapped everything. They still have school for probably
a couple weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks still. Yeah. So
I guess getting those gifts to the kids, already isn't for everybody.
It finally, for once, he has something ahead of schedule.
Who, me? I know, right? I know. It's very unlike me.
Okay, the last 2 hires we want to talk about before we go on to some other topics. Michigan State hiring Pat Fitzgerald.
You can't believe that either, huh?
I'm sorry.
He's so choked up over that one.
I was so speechless on that one.
I know big Northwestern fan, Virgil Brooks. He
as you know, they call me Mr. Northwestern over here. Yeah,
they do. They do.
I think it's a great hire despite his issues he had at Northwestern.
That's what I was going to say. I know we talked about it before. I didn't hear the resolution, if there was one on that. So that's the only thing that's kind of weird, is the way he had Northwestern in a pretty good spot, but then all of a sudden was let go. And then now there's like, oh, let's hire. So I didn't, I guess, hear the ending of it to know. I mean, obviously they're fine hiring him at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that you let time pass with those things. And it's like, people probably wanted to hire him the minute that he left Northwestern, but it's one of those things for political reasons. You don't do it right away. And then,
because a lot of that is like, well, should the coach know all of the things that happen all the time, every day? Maybe, maybe not. how much did he know? How much did he not know of what was going on with the hazing stuff? I mean, yeah, it just took some time for people to be like, oh yeah, that's old news. Nobody cares about that anymore. Let's move on. Except the people that were affected, but
yeah, I'm not trying to dismiss the seriousness and the gravity of the of the situation, but I mean DJ Durkin's a very similar case in that respect. But I mean, purely judging it on the on the field, I think Pat Fitzgerald is a great hire for Michigan State because we talked about this last night a little bit, but they're in dire need of a decent coach because they've struck out twice. Well, I shouldn't say that. They brought in people, but Virgil, you brought this up last night. There's been baggage with this coach, but there's
not the same kind of baggage.
Three hires. Yeah. There's been baggage with the last three hires, so they had to hope this one works out. That maybe that baggage is on, is behind him, and maybe he's, he can move forward now. But I think about Mel Tucker. I think about Jonathan Smith.
This is one of those situations that reminds me of Florida in the SEC. Michigan State's kind of the Florida of the Big Ten. Like they were a really good, maybe not even quite that. Because they weren't quite as good as Florida, but they had a really good run for a lot of years. And then they've kind of been a floundering team in the conference for a while.
Yeah.
I would actually say Illinois is the Florida, and not just because they've both been coached by Ron Zook.
Ooh, good call. Ron Zook.
Don't ask me to explain why I think that. I will not elaborate any further.
Well, I mean, outside of national championships, Michigan State's usually been, in the past, one of the top teams. But as the conference has grown, that has been diluted by some of the teams they've brought in, on top of the fact that they've just been floundering, much like Florida has been since Urban Meyer left.
See, now you got me thinking what actually would be a Florida equivalent in the Big Ten. And my mind kind of goes Wisconsin.
Well, I was about to go Wisconsin.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Ever since Alvarez's first run.
Oh, man.
And then the other hire, just to mention real quick, Will Stein going to Kentucky.
Willie Cauley-Stein is going back to Kentucky?
He is.
Nice.
Good reference.
Very good reference.
It's better than the reference Patrick apparently had last night. What was that, Will something else you had? I don't even know who you were talking about. Yeah.
Will Still. Hey, yeah. Hey, listen. Virgil got it. Virgil got it.
Of course he did. I didn't.
So that's it.
Man, I've been so nice to you, and you just throw a pot shot at me. Wow.
So that's it for the current hires. There are still jobs that are still open. UAB is still open. Oregon State's still open. There's some Penn State school, I think, that's still open. But let's go back to Penn State. At this point, who are they going to get? Like, who realistically do you think is going to go there?
Brian Kelly.
Well, that sums that up. Let's just move on to our next topic.
Okay. What's the next?
I mean, it's not out of the question. It really isn't.
I mean, what else are they going to do?
I definitely don't see him fit there, but
I don't either. But
at this
point, if you've got to settle for somebody,
I don't see him going to some lesser. Go to UAB? No, I mean Oregon State. I just don't see him at any smaller school. Although sometimes you have to do that to
restart yourself.
Yeah,
Take it for what it's worth. It's in his contract that he has to make a good faith, conscious effort to look for a new job in lieu of all that money he's supposed to get.
I'm trying so hard. I
know. If that were me, that's what I'd be doing. But I
know we've had some joke answers for Penn State, but honestly, Kenny Dillingham from Arizona State would not surprise me. I know, Eric, I had that same look because I kind of think about fit. But when I think about coaches who actually have accomplished something in a conference, he's won Big 12 last year. I can't see who else would go.
But so to me, Penn State, we had the terrible stuff years ago, They kind of came back around when Franklin had them ish there, but still, yes, they made the playoff, but didn't win. He couldn't win the big game. And so it's like you had a supposedly good coach with a decent team that couldn't win anything, all this previous stuff. It just seems like a strange school to be able to coach at. It's not the same, I think, as Florida, but it kind of reminds, like, I just don't see anybody really going. And obviously I know Summerall's at Florida, but just to take the Florida job to Penn State, it's just like, I don't know, it's maybe too much of the past that maybe they need somebody to clean that all up. But
last night when we were talking about Sataki, and obviously that changed today because BYU is like, no, thank you. We're not going to let that happen. We did mention Utah as another the coach at Utah possibly.
Well, but Kyle Whittingham is retiring, and they have a coach in waiting.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I'm like you. I don't know who else in the what team are they waiting for in the playoff that might have their coach want to leave?
Well, I was going to say, who does Boise State have as a coach? That's always a popular place to go to get a coach.
So are you thinking then, Virgil, that Big Ten's more money, bigger challenge than where he's at right now in the Big 12?
Yes.
I mean, I would say so.
I mean, because they made it in last year. And so, I mean, he can get in with what he had. Now this year, obviously, without having Scadaboo and whoever else.
Levitt got injured.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Levitt got injured.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now here's one I didn't think about until just now. What about Jed Fish at Washington?
I was looking him up when you said that because I remember his name coming up for the Florida job. And then it went quiet after that, and I thought maybe he signed a contract or something, but I can't find anything on that.
Well, the reports have been that his family doesn't like it in Seattle. Now I don't know if that's true. I mean, I have no way of knowing. I mean, Donnie, you need to check your sources because
I kind of agree with that.
But I love Seattle, but
you go there often?
I've been there like 3 times.
So yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
So
3 more than me.
Yeah.
Donnie hasn't been somewhere?
It's like you haven't been somewhere, but you've been there.
I sure have.
Yeah, but I could see Jed Fish, who has a history of moving a lot anyway. The only thing is I don't know that that's a step up job. I mean, I kind of agree with Eric about like the allure of that job, if I can say that. Like, I don't know that there's a huge allure to that job because I think there is that strange shadow still of Joe Paterno that's still there, despite the fact that James Franklin was there for 4 or 5 years. I still think there's that weird shadow over that. And then ever since that playoff loss last year and the way that this season went, I feel like the allure has gone away. I mean, I think if James Franklin had gone away on top, the allure of that job would be there. But losing to UCLA and stuff like that, it's amazing how quickly that can turn. And that maybe that's not fair to say, but I mean, obviously a lot of coaches agree though. I mean, a lot of coaches must agree because none of the people that we talked about or that went to other jobs were even mentioned with the Penn State job. I mean, the only one that was mentioned was Matt Rule, and he signed a new extension with Nebraska.
Let me ask in addition to this then, Virgil. So Big 12 is going to get at least one playoff team in, if not multiple, because they're a Power 4 conference. I think, like last year's team, they have a chance that they can win the Big 12. Do you realistically think he would always have to go up against Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon? I think he'd be better fit with a better chance to win because there's no team right now. Obviously, Tech is having a really good year, BYU, but outside of that, they could easily still be a top tier Big 12 team and get in pretty regularly, where I think it'd be hard. There's some obviously really good teams right now that could change. Indiana's last year was good. This year they beat Oregon. And that's another thing. Well, obviously, we'll talk about the picks on Thursday. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. A lot of people I've heard say there's no way that Ohio State's going to lose that. But honestly, I was impressed by Indiana with that Oregon win. So, I don't know, just a thought that because they know that at least one Big 12, not multiple, can get in, he could be better suited to stay there, run the Big 12, kind of like Oklahoma or Texas did before they left. Because otherwise, I mean, yeah, he could get there and have a year or two at Penn State to win the Big 10, but I think it'd be a lot harder because as of right now, they have some more dominant teams, I think.
So I would put two factors into this. One, I think involves money and investment. I think Penn State would be willing to put a lot more in there. So it's more a financial decision than a competition decision. But also, I think you're forgetting something here. Next year, Eric Morris is going to have the conference on lockdown, and Dillingham don't want any part of that.
Did I forget that? Or
yeah, I mean, you didn't mention it, so I thought maybe just an oversight. So
go Pokes.
He's going to have that year one or year two.
So Kenny saw the writing on the wall, and it's like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this.
Scared of Eric Morris and Drew Mestamaker.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
just what I've heard.
Oklahoma State QB1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, folks love the Pokes.
Well, there's a name that I don't think he would. I don't think this was a possibility at this point either because of the lack of success he's had lately. But the original placeholder, Bill O'Brien, would they bring him back in from Boston College?
That's another thought. What NFL?
I thought you said Daniel Bryan, and I was like, what?
No, Bill O'Brien.
What NFL coaches, coordinators, or otherwise do you think
Joe Brady
drop back down or
Joe
drop
Brady
down for the first time? Is that Tom's brother?
No, that's the Bills offensive coordinator.
I think that's Quinn's brother, actually.
Well, and he came from Georgia, right?
LSU.
That's right. He was at LSU, and then he went to the Panthers, and then
ignore that.
Quinn Brady or Brady Quinn.
Yeah, same person, right?
Yeah, same.
What
one.
Is that?
Yes, Brooks Virgil.
What's in that beer, Virgil?
Is that a 16.3%?
Is that an Imperial Sour?
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, real quick about beer. I'm surprised that Donnie, he'll probably order it now that I'm saying Sam Adams has a 30%. It's a $240 beer, but it's a 30%.
No.
So
I'm not paying that much.
Donnie's getting that. It'll be at his.
Well, no, he's getting like 400 units of it instead.
Okay. It'll be in his cellar here in 2 weeks.
Yep. And then Rondo had to come and take it away.
If it gets into the cellar, you won't see me drink that one until like 2030, 2031.
But you know what? Thank you for having a cellar because you have made my narrative so much easier to push off on people by virtue of the fact you have a cellar. So thank you.
Yeah, well, the cellar being the bottom shelf of the pantry and the kitchen.
It's a cellar. I've seen it.
I don't want our people in the chat to get the wrong impression that I'm actually wealthy.
They're aware.
No, they know.
Yeah.
They know.
Donnie, that yacht has already sailed.
Exactly. Yeah, you've already bought another one since that one sailed. Yeah, but
that was a good one, Patrick. Thank you.
He's learning to pick his spots. I'll give you that one.
Every once in a while.
There's one earlier too with Ed and his bald dome. That was a good one. So yeah, I think if he learns to pick his spots a little bit better, I think they'll be funnier.
I was actually going to reply to that one, and I didn't. That Ed was actually the lead in the company musical that they were doing tonight, where he was playing Spaceship Earth in the Epcot musical for the company party. But I was like, that's too party.
So, Lynn, Rich Rod is actually back at West Virginia, ironically.
After a stint at Jacksonville State.
Yeah, and before that he was at Arizona, right?
Yep, Arizona. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know that he would go to Penn State. I don't know that he can I don't know that he wants to go through another divorce like he did with West Virginia when he left for Michigan. That was a particularly nasty parting of ways. So
I wouldn't see I wouldn't see Penn State going after him at all.
No.
So we mentioned all these names, and I think we're forgetting who it's really going to be in the end. Welcome back to
who's that going to be?
Welcome back to head coaching, Jimbo Fisher.
Oh, interesting.
That's a bad fit.
Of course, it's a bad fit. There's no good fit at Penn State.
Yeah.
But speaking of
But
fits,
I was going to say, do you know who would be a really bad fit? Virgil, I'll let you tell us.
speaking of bad fits, you know who's also a bad fit at their team right now?
Who's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gottlieb Watch.
Good segue.
I'm
Thank you.
excited.
As we chronicle our friend over in Green Bay, Gottlieb Doug's basketball schedule to see if he will win 10 games or not.
Very well played.
So the question, we're going to go ahead and just go into this game here.
Okay, Mike, my own apartment. Thank you very much. Golly.
Man. Okay, actually, before that, I need to answer this question. North Dakota just gave their coach like a massive contract, so he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, that worked well for the one that's at Little Apple in Manhattan right now.
Yeah, but that was like, I think that's like double than what Klein got.
But Zach brings up a good point. Like, what about like your Tarleton States and people like that with their coaches? Is Penn State too big of a jump, or is that like the ideal jump?
Penn State would never go after an FCS coach. Never.
Virgil would, but Penn State wouldn't.
That would be so gauche.
Yeah. By the way, we're going to get into Gottlieb Watch, but Virgil, remind me that I have an idea for you as commissioner of the FBS and a competition that you would institute.
Well, I like how Eric says that it's my FCS, and I'm like, I don't remember claiming ownership to that.
Well, I think you need to. I think you need to have the VCS, the Virgil Championship subdivision.
Oh dear Lord. Well, we'll talk about that off the air because I'm kind of curious what you're coming up with that. So, of course, the Gottlieb Watch, we chronicle to see when Gottlieb will win 10 games, and I'm going to say 10 Division I games. So we're not counting. We're not counting the Ripon game earlier, and we're also going to be talking about our next game. So Saturday game, they play the Haskell Indian Nations College team out of Lawrence, Kansas. NAIA team. This was over at the Resch Center. So this is basically a glorified exhibition game in a way. I can't even find a spread on it because, as you'd imagine, there's no spreads between Division I and NAIA games. Kind of amazing. So the question is, did Gottlieb win this game? We already know the answer to that. The answer is yes, but we're not counting it. But I do want to show something involving this game because Green Bay did wear special jerseys for this. So I want to pull that up real quick. And this was for honoring Native American Heritage
Month.
That. So it's a nice little green purple jersey for the Oneida Nation. Oneida Nation. I don't know how to say that one, so I should have looked that up beforehand. This is what they wore for that game. Honestly, it's a very nice touch to see. I really like these jerseys. I don't know if they'll sell these or not. Probably not. But yeah, I was able to catch. This game was on ESPN Plus. I did watch it, so to make sure they actually wore these because I was curious what they looked like in person. And yeah, I thought these looked really nice. So, nice for them to even have a game like that for Haskell. I've been wondering if I'll be wondering if it's gonna be a common thing or not, but we'll see on that. So yes, Doug Gottlieb did win the game. We're not counting it. They won by 40. Wasn't even really close. But their next game, we're in conference play next week as they're going to be playing Robert Morris. So that will be Thursday. So we will be having a live Gottlieb Watch on Thursday. So the question is,
the Somerset Patriots call. They want their logo back.
I think this predates Somerset. So who's calling who?
You know me, my pro minor league bias. Okay.
I know. So that's it for Gottlieb Watch. Pretty quick one. So hopefully we'll see how he does in conference play next week, or this Thursday, I should say. All right. So let's talk about some NFL games. So I got the scores up here. On Thursday, we start off with the Packers beating the Lions 31-24. I'm sure Mr. Profit was happy with that. Do you have any thoughts to that, though?
No, I thought Didn't run the ball a whole lot, as Patrick is well aware, but Jacobs is still kind of hurt. Didn't really go with the run game quite as much like they did with Emmanuel Wilson when they played against Minnesota the week before. But Love, 4 touchdowns, didn't throw a ton, didn't really need to. The defense looked good. Obviously, Micah had some sacks and everything. So play right towards the end that actually finished it off. We had 4th and 1 or 2 and threw a pass to Dontavian Wicks, who had a huge game, had 2 touchdowns, went up, high point of the ball, pulled it down with the defender on his back to get the first down and effectively in the game. So, yeah, overall, pretty good game. For Detroit, obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown went out really early in the game with the injured ankle, which kind of hurt them some. And I know they're banged up a little bit here and there, but I'll take the win on the road, conference division game. So, swept the Lions this year, and then we have a very, 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 very big game this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll go over that Thursday.
I loved what Dan Orlovsky said about Jordan Love, Eric. He said after that game that it was the next day, he said if you watch yesterday's Packers game and you don't clearly think Jordan Love is one of the best quarterbacks and throwers of the football in the NFL, you're a dum-dum.
Yeah, no, I thought he didn't have a monster game in terms of like 350 yards, but he didn't need to. What he had 220 or something.
Yeah.
But he had 4 touchdowns, 2 to Dontavian Wicks. He had 1 to
Romeo
Dobbs, and who was
Watson.
Yeah, Christian on
Watson.
the deep ball. That was a really good deep ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, overall, I thought, what was it, 27-20? I thought they played pretty well.
Yep.
Obviously, Detroit's always been pretty good lately, even though they've been running into some injuries, but we'll take that divisional win. And so we'll move on to another division game here coming this weekend.
Patrick, why do you remember that Romeo Dobbs caught a touchdown?
Well, you see, there was a certain fantasy football game where I was like 27 points and Josh Jacobs can't even get a touchdown. I know he was injured and honestly, just from a human perspective, I hope he's okay. But yeah, what was it, like four receptions, 20 yards, but then a touchdown?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's Virgil telling these cats, man?
We have a mini-ish bye by playing on Thursday. Now, the Bears also had one less day of rest by playing Friday, but have a couple of days extra rest. The very, very, very unfortunate thing is right at the end of the game, Micah went in and got a big sack on Goff, but unfortunately, there's friendly fire, and Devontae Wyatt got rolled up on his ankle, broke his ankle, and so he's out for the year, which is really going to hurt because he was a really good run stopper. So we'll have to see if we can fill that gap. But obviously, with the Bears' run defense is going to be a big test. So that was the only kind of bad spot for the game overall. Got the win and everything, but whereas Devontae Wyatt broke his ankle, that's unfortunate for the Packers, but it happens. Like I said, his guy unfortunately rolled up on his ankle as Micah went in and just absolutely drilled. I think it was 4th down too, where the Lions were going for it and just ran right over Goff. He sacked Goff another time where I don't know if it was a blind side from the back or what, but he just absolutely, I think he was facing the other direction and just got leveled from behind. So Micah set the NFL record for 5 consecutive seasons of 12 or more sacks. Nobody's ever done that before. So obviously happy to have him in Green Bay. But yeah, only bad spot is losing our big defensive tackle.
What's the timetable return for Jaden Reed, or is there one yet?
So they talked about it because it was a short week. They played on Sunday, the last Sunday against the Vikings. Then they didn't have really any practices at all because they were playing on Thursdays. They just had like walkthroughs. They wanted him to have a full week of practices before getting out there to kind of get slowly into the flow. It's possible they still have not activated him. It's possible it'll be this weekend against Chicago. If not, then we go to Denver. And I heard people thinking he may be back for the Denver game. So
man, if you guys could just keep your wide receivers healthy, man, that offense would be scary good.
Right. And the defense is playing great because our only 3 losses have been 10, 13, and 16 points.
Yeah.
And the offense, when they scored 27, now this game we scored, was it 31-24 or was it 27?
It was 31-24.
31-24.
Okay. So that one we were a little higher, but that was I think pretty much one of the first wins where we didn't score right at 27 points because 27's been kind of our sweet spot. So we scored a little bit more there. But yeah, if we could get, with him coming back, Watson's finally starting to get healthy again, been out there for a few games, and Jacobs, I think, having kept a couple extra. Yeah, Dobbs with Jacobs having a couple extra days rest. And
if Golden could figure it out, I mean.
But he's been hurt too, though. He hasn't been playing either. But yeah, he's unfortunately, he'll have a catch here or there, but hasn't quite. I'm hopeful maybe this offseason into year 2.
Yeah.
But
Musgraves looked a little bit better.
Ish. Yeah.
I mean, he's not Tucker Kraft, nor is he going to be. He's more of a walking tight end. But
he did have a big catch at some point in the game on Thursday, but he's not good for more than just a couple catches. And then Kraft is a big run blocker as well, so that really hurt. But what
about Chris Brooks? Like where does he come into the picture?
Well, that's the thing with him. They put him, if Jacobs or Wilson's, then they'll bring him in for a kind of maybe a third down back or whatever. But
yeah, I was talking to Virgil and I was like, I was actually paying attention to that game, and I said to Virgil, I'm like, what is Chris Brooks doing in there?
They didn't use Jacobs a ton. I mean, he was in there, but just because he's come from a knee injury.
Yeah.
If we can get healthy enough in the defense, we'll see. Like I said, I'm not sure who they're going to plug in at this point for Devontae Wyatt, but if they can get somebody that has a semblance of being able to help stop the run. Rashawn Gary, unfortunately, hasn't had a big of year as people had hoped. He still has some things, but we need him to be more stepping up. If Micah can't get through because he gets triple team a lot and held every single play, we need Gary to go in there. So, and our corners have been all right. Carrington Valentine's been all right. Nate Hobbs hasn't been that great, but with the run stop, if we get them. So I'll be interested to see how this game on Sunday goes, to see if we can stop the run, because if you get Caleb Williams to pass it, he has his moments, but I don't know that he's done a whole lot in terms of being able to pass the ball very well right now. But
sorry for all the extra questions. I was just curious. I knew there were a lot of like question marks, and you've had a lot of updates coming into some big gains for you guys, because you're still within the division. Obviously, I mean you're right there.
We'll be in first if we beat Chicago. We're only half game out,
right? And don't you have Chicago
twice?
Twice.
It's so dumb. So we at home against Chicago Sunday, go to Denver, back to. Then to Chicago. So Chicago, Denver, Chicago. And then I think we have like Baltimore, Minnesota.
Yeah. And it was you guys and the Bears. And then there's two of the teams in the NFC East that almost play each other like either twice in 2 weeks or twice in 3 weeks. And I was I don't like it. To me.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I wish they would split it up and put them one earlier in the year and one later. I don't like it at all. So,
and the culture doing that against Donnie's Florida Fighting Donnies.
They moved the game in Chicago to Sunday night. So not this weekend, not the next, but so basically 3 weeks. That game is now a Sunday night game. This first one here, Sunday, is a 3:25, but they moved the one in Chicago, which is weird because I don't ever really see a ton of night games in Chicago.
Yeah. Virgil, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Like I said, I welcome extra analysis on games like this.
Yeah.
Next game we had was Cowboys beating the Chiefs 31-28. And so Chiefs have a 1-5 away record.
I had to go to the casino with the 2 biggest Chiefs fans in Wichita right after that game. So
I had to go.
I did. Because I didn't win any money.
You stayed awake. It's progress, okay?
So you're saying that there were not some happy people in the drive over?
No, but I like saying, how do you lose to Dallas? Because we didn't lose when we didn't beat them, but we also didn't lose to them. So I'm like, how do you lose to Dallas? And so they've like, well, it's a down year. We'll be back. And I'm like, I think your reign may be over.
What made it a down year?
Not potentially making the playoffs.
Well, I mean, I know that, but I mean, like, why? What was wrong with this team that wasn't there last year?
Even last year, they made the Super Bowl, but how many of those wins were last second within one possession? Like they had all the luck. This year, it's all going to Chicago because they have the Pope, and to Denver. I think both of those two teams, AFC, NFC, are the two worst. Denver's 10-2. The Bears are 9-3. Their
luck ran out is really what it is.
Yeah. So I've never liked their defense in all the years that they've won the Super Bowl. I've never thought their defense has been that great, and they've never had a running game, which is really, really strange to me. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was never good. Pacheco's so, but he hasn't done much. It's just they haven't.
The one year they had the really, really good defense was the year that they had against the Patriots in the AFC Championship. And what's the dude that Ford that jumped?
D Ford, yeah.
D Ford.
Offside.
That year was the best defense they had. And then they got rid of him and some other players, and it's just not been the same since.
The last time that the Chiefs had a really consistently good running back was Jamal Charles. And then he had that Achilles injury or whatever it was, or it was knee. It was either ACL or Achilles. I forget which one it was, but
see, that's the problem, Paulie. Pacheco's never on, though. You said when he's on, he's on. At this point, though, Hill, with his injuries and he's getting older, I think that's one of the things that I think they really miss is because he had.
I don't agree with the Hill part.
Right. Coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was great for them when, well, right, of course, obviously Mahomes is better than Tua, but I think at this point, he just, I don't know, he's getting older. He's coming off a really bad injury.
Kansas City's
probably going to retire, I would assume, after this year. Maybe one more. I don't see him coming back.
Nah.
Especially, although if they don't make the playoffs, he might, because I don't know that he want to go out on not being in the playoffs.
Interesting one from Paulie here. Like they need Hill back. I don't agree with that.
He didn't like the analysis Virgil and I gave on that.
But no, I think I go back to running back, and we talk about Pacheco. Pacheco to me has been a bust this year. I know he's been injured, but Kareem Hunt took over that role, and even then, that's still not. No,
because he's more of a goal line back. He'll get in the end zone. Lynn, we were talking about that. Where did I hear that from? Somebody either on my end, I don't know if it was my wife or maybe it was Samantha. Somebody was saying the same thing. It might have been Samantha saying that, playing basically going to the Super Bowl for so many consecutive years, that's 3-4 extra games. And it's, at this point, maybe they are just all kind of worn down. It just finally caught up to them, but they've, injuries and otherwise. So,
well, also, one of the hardest things to do as a sport, as an organization, is when you consistently win for such a long period of time, like it's to keep doing that.
And you're going to get everybody's best, obviously, because they want to beat the champs. So, I just think that, it's hard to keep that consistent.
Well, for so many years now, they have, it's been a team by committee. I mean, they've plugged and played at their skill positions every year. I mean, you've had Sammy Watkins went through there.'ve had Juju, a lot of other receivers. Like you said, they haven't had a consistent running back. It's overplayed. It's like at some point you can't do that every year and expect to have consistency. And I think it's just caught up with them that this whole plug and play mentality that they have is that whoever they put out there they can win with is not sustainable.
I agree. I know this isn't, people couldn't see it, but I agree on the notion that they really miss Eric Bieniemy, and I don't understand why He's not at UCLA still, is he?
Mm-mm.
Where's
No,
he
I
at
don't think
now?
so.
He
I don't-
is. Oh, I just looked this up because I think he's back in the NFL.
I see what I
Did he go to Baltimore?
don't understand is
Bears running backs coach.
Bears. Okay.
no wonder their running backs are really good. That makes sense now.
Well, see,
What-
for so long he was overlooked for head coaching position.
that's the
Nobody
thing,
could figure
but-
that out.
there had to have been something there of why they didn't think he'd be a good head coach.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly winning Super Bowls as the offensive coordinator, why would you leave? I know you want your opportunity, but where did he go first before he went to UCLA?
Kansas,
Washington.
He went to Washington. Yeah.
And see, I just didn't understand that at all. Maybe he was just hopeful with Jaden. Well, was he even there when Jaden?
No, that was before that.
See, that to me didn't make sense at all. And I think I agree though with that. I think that's hurt them ish. Now they've made it obviously to the Super Bowl last year without him, but I think they were so good offensively with Bieniemy that once he did leave, that kind of hurt. Defensively, they're okay with what's his name now? Steve Spagnuolo.
Mm-hmm. Spags.
He's fine. I don't.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't say he's a tremendous. There you go, Bieniemy to Penn State. I mean,
well,
did UCLA really do much with him there?
He was only there for
A year?
yeah, he was only there for 1 year.
well, Donnie, you had really good analysis earlier, but I mean, I find it sort of disrespectful that you forgot one of the iconic Chiefs receivers, that they've had.
He wasn't a journeyman like the other guys. He was a star.
Who are you talking about, Dwayne Bowe?
Kadarius Toney.
Somewhere over Dwayne Bowe?
Oh my God.
No, for real. Like a ton of people use that as their fantasy football name when he was back in the day.
I believe
Being
it.
here in Kansas, we had obviously a lot of Chiefs
Dwayne-
fans, so they would
Yeah.
always do somewhere over Dwayne Bowe.
If Dwayne Bowe had good hands, he would have been a great receiver. Yeah, but because I saw him drop so many passes at LSU. Yeah, he had great tools at LSU, and they've had some great wide receivers. But man, he dropped some wide open passes.
No longer a Kansas City Chief, but you know who my wife's favorite Chief is?
Who's that?
Tom Bahali.
Oh,
She has a Tom
Good one.
Bahali 91 jersey. She's always a Holly fan. Her thing is she doesn't have a ton of jerseys, but she waits until they sign an extension and knows they're going to be there for longer, and then she'll get the jersey because she's like, if I get a jersey, they're going to leave immediately, and so she'll wait. And so when Holly signed that big deal originally with the Chiefs, she got her a jersey. But yeah, she was a big Tom Bahali fan.
who's Samantha's favorite player?
I don't know. Let me ask. Hold on, just a second.
Okay.
While he does that, let's go over the next game. Bengals beat the Ravens 32-14. Joe Burrow's reemergence coming back here. And I only have one question for the Ravens. Are a very, very difficult team to watch
They are.
because I do not, and of course, I'm saying this because, yes, I do have Derrick Henry on fantasy. I'm just going to go ahead and say that now. But even if I didn't, how can you not have your best player have a touch or an attempt in a whole quarter?
Yeah.
How do you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They've gotten away from running with him, and that's a mistake.
I mean, they've only implemented him in the past a few times. I mean, he only had one catch for 44 yards. But
This
still,
whole season they haven't been using him.
They haven't. He had those fumbles early on, and then it's like they stopped using him, and I don't get what they're doing. I feel like when Lamar Jackson holds the football on forever, it feels like it's just a guaranteed sack. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, sorry, I missed who you were since I was on. You were talking about
Ravens and Bengals.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Jalen or Gordon?
He said his favorite chef is what he meant. We're talking about the Chiefs.
Oh, I thought he was
And
talking about
he went chef on you.
not
Yeah, he
Jalen
did.
Ramsey.
No,
Not Jalen. Nope. No. No. The Kansas City Chiefs. That's Strom Thurmond. Okay.
Ugh.
So Phil, I think might have missed our talk earlier about Billy Napier, the famous Furman football player that's turned coach. Yikes!
I'd
Anyway,
be curious where he ends up. I'm sure he's going to get another job somewhere.
So Mike, do you want Mike Tomlin to be fired? I mean, I know we're going to get to that game, but I mean, I don't think there's any way he gets fired. But is that what you want as a Steelers fan? I know there are Steelers fans that want that, or some resolution. But
I'm sorry, Patrick. I couldn't hear you over the booing.
well, don't worry. Mike Tomlin doesn't blame them anyway. So,
No.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I'm afraid where this is going.
Yes. About to go to bed in a way.
Yeah.
You've been here 18 years and kind of stale.
Yeah, I didn't want to speak for Mike but he and I have had several conversations in the last week about that situation. I know he was telling me that he's a little conflicted because Tomlin has been solid.
Yeah.
But he's kind of
season.
Well, and that narrative's getting very tired very fast.
We also haven't won a playoff game since 2016.
Exactly.
Yeah,
who cares about a losing season or a winning season if you're not winning playoff games? So
playoffs.
I think that's where it's at for Mike. Is it's like maybe they need a new blood. Because I even asked him. I said, "Well, who do you think the fourth coach in franchise history should be?" Yeah. He's not sure yet.
If they want the new blood, Virgil, can't they just go to WCW?
Oh man, that's like 2000s WCW. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tomlin to Penn State. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that to Mike Tomlin. Please. Yeah. As a Raider fan, you do not. Joe's right. As a Raider fan, you do not want a coaching carousel. Would Joe Profit also agree with that?
I'll say this. I don't think that Tomlin goes anywhere after this year, but I think that the Rooneys are going to be trying to figure out who the next coach is within the next 2 years.
Well, it's not going to be a firing. It would be a mutual parting of ways. There's going to be a way that you have to say it.
But they're not going to decide that until they know who their guy is. They're not going to get rid of him in any way, shape, or form unless they already have locked up who the next guy is.
The next guy is going to be Bill Cowher, isn't it, Mike?
Bill's not coming back.
It's going to be Bill Cowher.
Well, they're going to pull a Kansas State and get back the old coach?
That's exactly it. After 40 years at CBS, Bill Cowher is going to go back to the sideline to the very one that he left.
Okay, you ready for this? She just finished talking, so there's a lot to divulge here. So let me see if I can remember everything she said.
Okay.
First of all, she was listening to the show, so she's really disappointed. I did not know Eric Bieniemy is in Chicago. So that's the first thing. Second of all, she says she doesn't like being put on the spot to think of somebody. She did like Tamba Hawley.
Then I'd like to apologize to Samantha for putting her on the spot.
I can't believe you did that, Patrick.
She liked old Travis Kelce, the one that kind of was more the troublemaker, because she could at least know that he was pretty reliable. Currently, she says the entire team makes her mad.
She doesn't like domesticated Travis Kelce. She likes the wild guy.
However, she only really likes Patrick Mahomes because she says he's basically the only one that knows how to play football right now. She said the offensive line, terrible. She said the wide receivers, the receiving core is awful. They can't catch. She called him Steven Spagnuolo, so got his full government name. Is just an average defensive coordinator.
I don't know about that.
She said she likes. So get this. She likes Creed Humphrey, who's their center. Who likes a center?
Someone that knows their team. That's who.
Exactly. Yeah.
She said Creed Humphrey. And
That's a deep cut. That's a
I
good
re-
one, Samantha.
Listen. I rate it. I
don't think that she doesn't actually know or watch the Chiefs and football. She knows her football and her Chiefs.
Absolutely.
Well, I've never doubted that. Why do you think I asked who her favorite player was? I mean, that was an honest question, though I do apologize I put her on the spot.
Yeah, she's like, I can't really pinpoint one because she just left the Wichita State basketball game. So she was sitting there thinking. And so that's most. I'm trying to remember if there's anyone else that she said. That's basically it for the most part. So those are kind of her.
Well, for not liking being put on the spot, she gave some really good answers. So props to you, Samantha. She was really good on the well, not to say what she said, but she was really good on the Earned Fun Average Holiday Spectacular that will come out at some point. That we were all recording last night. So make sure you guys go listen to the Earned Fun Average podcast as well.
Yeah, and be ready for that holiday special here soon.
But only say for the parts where the three of us were in, because we had to leave early.
We weren't on much longer because everybody dropped.
We left late.
Yeah, everybody was dropping off, so we finished up right after that. You didn't get to say our slogan all at once at the same time.
I know. I wanted to do it too, but Virgil said I had to get off. So
and we didn't see.
I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
That's what the private chat said.
Did not say that.
We didn't sing the 12 average days of Christmas either, like we did year one.
Come on, Johnny. We need that every year. It's kind of like how Skills does his wrap up every year. We need just like Skills does his wrap up, every year. We need to have Johnny singing the 12 days of average Christmas of Earned Fun.
That's right. For my first day of average Christmas, my average wife gave to me
a lukewarm cup of coffee.
There you go. Okay. Anyways,
all right. Let's get to the Eric Bieniemy Bears.
All right. Yeah. So the Bears.
Eric Bieniemy.
A good one.
That's a good one. Bears go into Philadelphia and beat the Eagles 24-15.
That game made me angry. So if you're all right, real quick to jump in for analysis of this.
You get angry over games, man? Why? It shocks me.
It's not that bad. You don't have to put me on. All that the Bears were doing was running the ball. Eagles, stop the run. That's all they did. Williams was not throwing the ball. He can't throw the ball. He's not that great of a passer. Stop the run. Now that's going to be easier said than done because watch, I say this, and then Green Bay won't stop the run on Sunday with Monangai and Swift, which I pulled a Patrick over here, and on my other league, I still won. However, Swift got me 0 points last week, so I benched him, and then he got me 19 on my bench this week, but I still won that, unlike Patrick. But regardless, I say that, and then we'll see if Green Bay can actually stop the run. But if you force Williams to throw, yeah, he can make a few throws to Loveland or Adunze, but beyond that, I don't think he's a great passer. But their run game is really good this year, and that's all they did, ran for like 300 yards, and it's like the Eagles. If you shut that down, Eagles just lost 4 days prior or 5 days prior to the Cowboys, and then they're losing to the Bears, and it's like, what's going on with the Eagles right now? They can't run.
In your words, the Eagles' offense is terrible.
They are terrible.
Saquon, what's his issue? Why can't he run?
I don't know, but who's the Bears,
run him
who's
too
the
much
Bears
last
running
year?
back coach? Does anybody know?
Ben Johnson.
I'm with you on Saquon. Like
did they run him too much last year? What, he have over 2,000 yards?
I mean, possibly.
Wait, do we have a Le'Veon Bell situation?
No, I don't think that. I think I think that the Eagles, from what I can tell, the Eagles are just like week to week a different team. Like they haven't figured out one thing to stick with.
Hold that thought. One thing crossed my mind about the Chiefs that Samantha said. She said Chris Jones sucks because he's already been paid. He's not waiting to be paid. So now that he's paid, he doesn't have to perform. So she also mentioned that he sucks right now as well. So sorry. Okay. Anyway, so Bears.
That happens in all levels of all.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But she did mention that, and I forgot to say that.
Well, I'll tell you who the Eagles remind me of right now, and this was brought up earlier by Virgil. The Eagles with Saquon Barkley reminds me of the Ravens with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, they were so good last year, and it's like, why all of a sudden are you abandoning what worked last year? And
right, yeah,
I mean,
that's
like Yeah, I mean,
they're trying to outsmart themselves.
well, you're overcomplicating it.
Yeah.
I mean, just because Derrick Henry fumbles the ball, I'm going to give him the rock, like 5 more times. Just because he fumbles it once doesn't mean like Lamar Jackson ain't doing anything. Jalen Hurts has regressed.
Yeah, and it's
AJ
both
Brown
those
has not been
teams.
good. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you send your home run hitters up there. You don't care how many times they strike out. You
he had a
wait for
good
the home runs they
He had a
hit.
good week this week, AJ.
right.
Brown.
Did you see that meme of that girl? And I don't know what show she's on, but she kind of does that pretending to cry and then does the tongue out thing.
Yeah.
They did that with the AJ Brown, however many catches, 134 yards, whatever, 2 touchdowns.
But
AJ Brown on a week that they lost, but he had that big game, so that was funny.
Yeah, well, the Eagles will have like one good drive, and then they won't do anything for the rest of the half.
Yeah,
like they'll have one really solid drive, and you're like, it's going to be a good week, and then the offense goes silent. The Ravens usually just start out terrible, and then they'll have like little moments here and there. But to me, those two teams, at least on the offensive side of the football, are very similar right now because their best players are their running backs, and they don't utilize them enough.
Yeah. Joe, you would have been invited, but we can't have you on back-to-back days. But no, honestly, Joe was working, so that's why he couldn't join us yesterday. So
listen, Joe is way above average, and he fits in on that podcast.
Absolutely.
So the flip side, because that was Bengals Ravens, right? Are we at that game yet?
We're on Bears. No, we
Bears,
did Bengals Ravens when you were talking to Samantha.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, real quick on that, is it one of those wait and see? Are the Bengals gonna get better that Burrow's back, or is it just because they played the Ravens?
Well, they can't get any worse.
I think it's both.
I think it's both, like Donnie said. I think the Ravens screwed up more than the Bengals succeeded in that game. But I think the Bengals are definitely turning around on that.
Yeah, I mean they've got the Ravens, so they've got the Bills this week, and then they got the Ravens again. So if they get through the next 2 games, then they got the Dolphins, and then the Cardinals and the Browns. So they get through the next 2 games, there's a shot.
Yeah, Jason Belmonte over here missed because she had to bowl. She had to step up and won 3 of their 4 games. So they had some snow in Iowa, and she had to fill in for the bowling. So Lynn missed it. So yeah, sorry you missed yesterday, Lynn.
Lynn, you're always missed when you're not there.
Agreed. So now going on to the Sunday games now. 49ers beat the Browns 26-8. Don't really talk about there. Looked like you want to say something, Eric.
I'm trying to see how to say it. They're continuing to start Shedeur. I know he hasn't had a ton of games yet. Gabriel hasn't shown much. So, I mean, what do you do at this point?
I think I think they should just play Shedeur the rest of the year. You've already got enough tape on Gabriel. Get a few more games with Shedeur. Let him have. I mean, he needs to have the next 4 or 5 games because Gabriel had pretty much the beginning part of the season. And again, you've got after this game, you've got the Titans. Although actually they've got the tough one. They've got Titans this week, which that could be a win for Shedeur. But then you got Bears, Bills, Steelers, Bengals. So,
well, I mean,
Steelers is a win.
There are reinforcements you can still call.
He went to bed. Never mind.
I was going to say there are reinforcements in Cleveland that you can still call.
Yeah,
Bailey Zappi is available.
Well, I just don't think I don't think they don't give a crap about the record this year right now. I think they're just going to play Shedeur.
Yeah, they're going to give Shedeur an extended look.
Right, just to see what he can do. Because if he can't do anything, then they're off the hook by saying, well, look at what we gave him. We gave him 5 or 6 games, and he's not the answer either, so they can move on.
Yeah. Hard to say he doesn't have first-team reps now.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. You mean, people were clamoring for him. Oh, y'all not giving him a chance. Y'all should be playing Shedeur. Well, here you go. This is what you get. And people are like, oh, man, maybe he wasn't as good as we thought he was going to be.
I still think just give that time because I mean that's kind of
and it's not all his fault
it's not all his fault
because he
No.
has actually made some good plays. They just got a crap ass team.
Yeah, I mean, on the offensive side of the football, they're an absolute mess.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a shame because they actually have a pretty darn good defense.
Yeah.
But I mean, defense can keep you in games, but you still have to score points at some juncture. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got to put some drives together. I mean, I was talking to Virgil about this, and Joku has been a real disappointment. I know Ed loves Jerry Jeudy, but the fact of the matter is Jerry Jeudy has been a little bit of a disappointment. And I know Ed will come on and defend him, but Jerry Jeudy has been a disappointment. Cedric Tillman can't stay healthy.
Well, it's easy for them to shut down Njoku because that's all they got.
True.
So they kind of bottle him up a lot. Don't let him get off the line much, and then their outside receivers can't do anything.
Yeah. Well, and we know he's talking
The
about
offensive
here,
line
but
can't do anything.
He said Miles, but does Miles regret staying with the Browns? I mean,
No.
he's cashing in a big check, so I guess you had to ask him, does money make him happy?
That's pretty much the question there.
I think it does right now. He could potentially be. It won't happen because he's a defensive player, but he should be a legitimate contender for MVP this year the way he's played.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
I mean, Miles is making that Donnie money. I don't blame him. I mean,
Yeah,
cash that check, man.
I wish.
Do you guys know who has the most receiving yards this year for the Browns?
The Browns?
Quinshon Judkins.
Good guess, but no. It is their rookie tight end, Harold Fannin Jr.
Oh, okay. That's a good shout.
So
Well, that probably goes back to them playing two tight ends a lot and Njoku being shut down, and so they're like, he's not going to catch anything, and all he's just collecting yardage over here.
Pretty much. Next game we have Jaguars beat the Titans 25-3. Jaguars saying 8-4, and I was going to say it looks like they've kind of fixed some of their offensive problems, but it's the Titans, so I can't really go off that. Jacoby Myers had a good game. Brendan Strange, after coming back from injury, had a great game.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Britain.
Yes,
Yeah.
Patrick, he did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jaguars.
Parker Washington could have had a good game if he didn't hurt his hip.
And the Jaguars have a mix of good and tough games. I mean, they still got the Colts twice. They got the Broncos, but then they've also got the Jets and the Titans again. So we'll see how they finish out.
But Donnie, where do the Jaguars play the Colts this weekend?
Well, they play them. Let's see, this weekend. They're at home this weekend. Yeah,
they're in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Did the Colts ever beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville? I mean, you're a lifelong Jaguars fan. You know this. No.
Well,
they don't win in Jacksonville.
So they've got the next two games at home. They could potentially win both of those games, but then they go on the road at Denver, at Indy. They could that could be a 2-2 split, those four games.
It could be. It could be. And we'll see. I mean, I think Jacoby Myers has been a good pickup for the Jaguars. Particularly when you don't know what you're getting with Brian Thomas Jr. and with Parker Washington's injury problems and Brenton Strange in and out of the lineup. I mean, you needed somebody, and he's been a good, safe option for Trevor Lawrence, who likes to spread the ball around and spread out the passes. But Brenton Strange is his favorite target, though. I think that's been made abundantly clear.
And the thing is, the Colts have the hard road, but
they do.
The Jaguars aren't guaranteed to win that division either, because here come the Texans. So
I think the Texans win the division, honestly.
I mean, they're in position right now to win the division. Yeah.
Yeah. That defense, I mean, they're Davis, because when even if Stroud isn't playing, Davis Mills has proven he can keep them in ball games. So,
well, that's a good segue to talk about that game, since that's the next one on the list. The Texans beat the Colts 20-16. Of course, I think Daniel Jones was playing with one leg,
basically, yeah.
So
Yeah, and I mean, but I don't want to disrespect the Texans defense. I mean, the Texans defense did a number on, they limited Jonathan Taylor to almost nothing, and
They're probably one of the best defenses in the NFL
easily
right now at this point in the
easily
season. Yeah,
easily.
Would you say the best defense right now in the NFL?
I would say the Texans, honestly.
yeah.
Packers defense is up there, and then
Packers
until a
is
couple
up
weeks ago,
there.
Eagles defense was looking good until a couple weeks ago. But yeah, that's a good one, Joe.
All right, next game we have Dolphins beat the Saints 21-17.
Who?
Yeah.
Dolphins beat the Saints.
Oh, the Dolphins. I thought you said the Falcons, and I was like, what?
No.
Yeah.
But the Falcons lost to the Jets 27-24.
That had to be up there with one of the worst games of the weekend.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, that was a terrible game.
Can we just call this the Kirk Cousins effect, or what should we? Because I don't think they were that bad.
I think we can say that Tyrod Taylor is the hero that we need, but we don't deserve.
Right name, wrong player. I think you're thinking of a Donnie Mitchell.
Are you talking about Adonai Mitchell?
Adonai Mitchell, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not good with my names. Look at Quinn Brady for an example.
Quick update. She is no longer on the spot, so she has her favorite player.
Oh,
okay. Breaking news.
Former player, defensive player. Any guesses? Recent-ish.
L'Jarius Sneed?
No, but that's funny. We talk about that at work a lot.
Man.
I know he's in trouble with the law. I know he's in trouble with the law right now. But.
Slightly older, not too much older than Sneed.
Defensive back or a lineman?
Defensive back.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of the names. I thought it was probably defensive back. Oh gosh, who was it?
No, not Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger.
That's a great guess, though.
Really good guess.
I'll just tell you, unless you guys want to keep guessing.
I can't. I'm thinking of the defensive backs, and I thought I had a name in mind, but I can't bring it.
I think Virgil knows it.
I don't know it.
Eric Berry.
Oh yes.
Wow.
And she said mostly because his fear of horses and war paint is they have somebody riding a horse out on the field during like touchdowns and beforehand, and he gets so scared. So she said that makes her laugh. So she would say former Chief Eric Berry is one of her favorites.
He was a good defensive back too.
And former Tennessee Volunteer Eric Berry, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was the ball.
Yeah, good shout. Good shout.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, do you have any other insight with Jets Falcons?
I would just say it's typical Falcons that they have a chance to go up in the division, like to make some noise in the division, and then like they're playing the Jets, and the Falcons find a way to lose to the Jets, and the Jets did not play well at all. I have a good friend of mine that's a Jets fan, but he also has a soft spot for the Falcons. He goes, how can I be mad at both teams? He says, only the Jets and the Falcons could make me mad at both teams. He said, I just wasted a whole afternoon watching that game. And I was like, yeah, you did.
I
couldn't argue with them because he made salient points.
That's the best way to put that. Buccaneers beat the Cardinals 20-17. I'm really, really... Man, getting rid of having Murray being injured, it feels like that team's actually got an identity now.
No, I don't hate Brissett there.
Mm-mm.
No,
They don't have Harrison anymore, right?
He's injured with a leg injury, I believe now.
And so I don't even know who literally is on the team right now, but I think they're decent.
Jacoby Brissett has done the impossible. He's made Jonathan Gannon look competent.
I mean, they got Trey McBride, they got Michael Wilson, they've got Greg George.
Well, and then there's what? Let's see who's playing running back this week.
Bam Knight this week.
I was going to say because there's been Demercado, Michael Carter.
They had Bam Knight. Both of those guys, Bam Knight. Yep, And Michael Carter with the 2 running backs this weekend. And
Well, I was gonna say,
number 7 running.
and who's the guy that was the top back before he got hurt and went on injured reserve?
Trey Benson.
What's that?
Trey Benson.
Trey Benson. Yeah. And Trey Benson's due back any week now, right? Or is he back already?
He's been due back any week for like 3 weeks.
And Harrison
he's
Harrison
like a Murray Hampton then, right?
Did he come back?
Pretty much. He's a Murray and Hampton.
Do you love how since Virgil has to actually run the show now, he stopped being the producer, and then Donnie's like, "I'll do it," and he looks everything up now. It's like, "I'll get you the answer."
Well, he's got a lot of things to go. He's got to keep you two under control, and he's got a lot of other things going on. So,
but Eric,
he doesn't under control.
Yeah, what's it, Eric?
I'm hosting.
Donnie doesn't have to actually look it up because he was old enough that he lived it, so he doesn't actually have to look up anything.
I just have the ESPN page going through the scores game by game. So when you said something about that, I just click on the game, the box score, and there it is. And Harrison had 6 catches for 69 yards.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, you knew about things before there was an ESPN. Yeah,
well, I've got a stack of books over here I'd normally have to go through, but
Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, it's like they come. The teams send them to me each week in print form after the results.
Man, those team yearbooks hit different, right?
That's right.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
All right. So, after the next
Encarta. He had the CD-ROM.
So, as for the next game, you guys ever see Infinity War?
No,
I did.
No. Okay. Well, Patrick will understand.
This might be the only time I've ever seen a movie that these two haven't.
Right.
I don't watch movies.
Neither do I.
Well, to explain the movie, let's explain the scene in the movie. There is a scene after Thanos gets the Soul Stone where he is met by Child Gamora, and you've probably seen the meme. And she goes, "Did you get everything you wanted?" He says, "Yes." What did it cost?
I've seen
everything.
That meme. Yeah.
This is basically what I went through winning fantasy, but having the Rams lose to the Panthers.
Yeah, I watched that most of that game, but yeah, I know that I've seen that meme. I know what you're referencing.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with Eric as that game was going on, and he says to me, Stafford threw an interception. And I was like, oh, great. Then that's over. And then we're still on the phone. He goes, Stafford threw a pick 6. And I'm like, well, I'm losing.
I was like, let me guess, you have him as your fantasy starter?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Now,
I was like, what is he doing? Because I had your game on and I had his game on, both.
Yep.
And so I was watching both your guys' game. Well, I guess technically yours too, Donnie. So all of you guys, I had the games on and I was like, what is happening? So I was giving live play-by-play to Patrick.
So if I knew that the good Carolina Panthers were going to show up, I probably would not have picked the Rams to win, but I didn't know that was going to happen. Now Patrick is claiming collusion, that I had a hand in this.
Yes, you did.
Well, Devontae had 2 touchdowns to start. It was like, okay, got a couple touchdowns from their best wide receiver.
Well, it's kind of like what Virgil does with like picks, like he tanks a little bit to do it like the first week. So
that's a good point.
So what he did is he wanted Devontae Adams to get like a couple touchdowns, but then he said, but since it's his team, right? So they're the Valiant Virgils. He said, Stafford, you're going to have to let your pick, your pick streak end. And he said, but boss, he said, no, I'm not going to hear it. He said, I need to win this week and you need to tank. So guess what Matthew Stafford did? He tanked.
And Devontae Adams finished 3rd on the Rams in receiving, by the way.
Yeah. And then somehow he colluded with Donnie over there. Donnie's 47 teams. And the Jaguars did well with the Florida Fighting Donnies. His Donnie's courageous Donnies in Carolina. Got a pick 6 and picked off Stafford twice. So there was definitely some collusion going on. He would have won anyway, but there was definitely some collusion going on.
Don't you remember I have the Rams defense in that game? I got like a point from that. So
like I said, there's a little bit.
If I was colluding, do you not think I would have switched out my defense?
No, well, I mean, you don't want to make it look obvious. So I mean, you do throw in a few little red herrings here and there. I mean, you do it on picks every week. So so I mean, you're an accountant. You're smarter than that. You're gonna you're gonna cover your books. So, you're not just gonna sit there and cook them and like make it obvious to see that there's collusion going on. You know how, like, it's kind of like what is it, the amortization of like transfer fees. Like, how to blend it out over
that is
5
the
years.
second time you have used the word amortization twice in 2 days. I'm impressed.
Yes, sir, I have.
But Donnie,
I know about amortized fees. Okay, like
Yeah, that's true.
like you can say it's 60 million pounds, but you can break that out into 12 over 5 years, right? So,
Random quick aside. Did anybody know that Bill Murray's son Luke is an assistant coach for UConn basketball?
Yes,
I did not.
Of course he did.
I did.
So UConn's at Allen Fieldhouse right now playing KU, and they just showed Bill Murray on TV, and then they quickly zoomed over to the huddle, and right there, and they said whatever Murray, I don't remember his first name, but assistant UConn coach. So apparently his son is a assistant coach for UConn.
Donnie's probably taking a picture with him.
No,
you said he was in the huddle.
with Bill? Yeah, I have with Bill.
Of course, you flip and have.
When you said he was in the huddle, I thought you meant like Bill Murray was in the huddle.
No, he was just sitting on the probably, I'm assuming, court side behind the UConn bench. But no, it was his son that was in the team huddle in a timeout.
Donnie, I was joking.
I don't have a picture to show you of the picture, but when I got my picture made with him, I had printed this out to have him autograph and try to get the glare off of it. It's basically a collage of character pictures.
Oh, nice.
And you can see right there, he signed it.
How'd you emboss Virgil and Eric on there? That's pretty cool.
And what's funny is when I asked him to sign that, so he signed that for me back when he was doing the Royal, what was that movie? The Royal
Tenenbaums?
Tenenbaums. Yeah, because he had the beard and everything. And when I asked him to sign it, he's like, "Are you one of those autograph hounds or something?" I was like, "No, this is going in my room at the house." Okay.
So you had the pictures with all of his movies on here, but I did not see Garfield on that.
This was from years ago, so he may have done Garfield since. I don't remember what year he did Garfield.
The cat or the presidential documentary?
This is probably from 20 years ago. But he to answer your question as to how I knew his son was at UConn.
You know a guy.
Bill lives in Charleston, so you see a lot of news about him a lot of times. And I had seen something
they go to lunch
somewhere. Often. I think it was a picture of him with his son at a UConn basketball game. I think it was last season because of the didn't they have a playoff run last year?
No, they won the last two prior to that. Florida won this past year. The last two prior to that, UConn won.
But they won it, but they still had a pretty good run last year, didn't they?
I thought they got eliminated in the Sweet 16.
Yeah. I was going to say it was.
I think that's where I had seen it was because Bill was wherever the Sweet 16 or something in the March Madness was back in March. But anyway,
Bill's always at a sporting event.
Oh yeah, he's a part owner of the River Dogs too.
Eric, the James A. Garfield retrospect would only be like one episode, so wouldn't really have a lot there to go off of. All right.
I had a joke, but I resisted saying it because it was in poor taste.
Well, speaking of presidents, why we talking about your guy Martin Van Buren running quarterback? What I don't understand.
Terrible.
Yeah, you guys should have won that game. Should have beat Oklahoma, but
yeah, should have lost to Western Kentucky, who lost this past weekend.
Don't mess with the Van Buren boys.
Donnie, do you have any analysis with the Panthers game that you would like to share?
Yeah, tune in yesterday morning.
Actually, I will have to say this. I'm going to have to start giving Bryce Young a little more credit than I have.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Because what did I text on Sunday? They beat Green Bay in spite of Bryce Young, but they beat the Rams because of Bryce Young.
Right. I'm coming around to him. I'm still not sold on him totally, but I will say this. This was his 11th come from behind fourth quarter win. He is starting to get the job done when he needs to. I do like what Canales is doing because I think a lot of this has to do with Canales more so than just Bryce Young. But they have their moments where they are very balanced. Hubbard finally had more rushing yards than Dowdle, but I think that's the first time this season, actually, even before he got hurt.
Hubbard,
Chuba Hubbard.
go
From
Pokes.
Go Pokes.
See, I still can't even just talk. He's I just got to mess with him. So Hubbard had 83 yards, Dowdle 58 yards. And Bryce had two. He was efficient. He was 15 of 20, 206. But what I'm liking that I was unsure about at the beginning of the season is the wide receiver core starting to kind of come around a little bit. Now, Leggett didn't do anything. He has his moments, but he has a lot of bad moments. He's not going to be a long-term top guy. But Jalen Coker, 4 catches, 74 yards. Teteroa McMillan, he only had 1 catch, but for 43 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, that catch that he had for that touchdown was unbelievable.
I didn't see any of this game. We actually had
not a true fan.
A funeral service, memorial service to go to for a friend of mine's dad. But even Hubbard, Dowdle's getting in the passing game. Trimble, he's a serviceable tight end. He didn't do much this game, but he has his moments as well.
From where? Tommy Trimble? Anybody?
Yeah.
No? Notre Dame, baby. Tight end you?
We just let you say it.
Why? You can do your little pokes thing, but I can't go my
Patrick
Here Come the Irish.
That's what I don't do.
So
you literally just said it. You didn't put your fingers up, but you still said it.
But he was the one that brought it up. I didn't bring it up.
So anyway, Panthers, they've had their moments this year. They're starting to kind of gel a little bit. I still think they're pieces away from really being consistently a really good team. I think we need another receiver. I'm not sold long-term on Bryce Young, but I'm not saying we need to draft a quarterback either. So I'm going to give it more time. I'm coming around to him, but I don't think I think he will get us to one level. I don't think he gets us to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it like that. And then we've got a somewhat favorable schedule coming up, depending on how the Bucs are, because with Baker being injured, he came back and he's doing okay. So we'll see how that is, because we got 2 against the Bucs and we got the Saints after this bye week coming up. So, I mean, we should win the Saints game. If we can at least split with the Bucs and we got the Seahawks, then we're looking pretty decent for potentially winning the division.
Where's the Seahawks game at?
That is at home. Seahawks are coming West Coast, East Coast. Don't know what the time yet, though. Could be a 4:00 game.
Which will negate everything.
Well, it'll more favor the Seahawks if it is 4:00 versus a 1:00 game.
Well, if it's in Seattle, it's not going to be a.
No, it's not in Seattle. It's in Charlotte, but the time hasn't been determined yet.
Okay, I was going to say because if it's in Seattle, it wouldn't be a 1:00 game.
No,
right? No. But they haven't. That's TBD, and the last game against the Bucs is TBD, because I think we're in the flex window now.
You're gonna track headwind and tailwind, aren't you?
It's a thing. I know you don't think it is. It's a thing.
No, it's
well,
not.
speaking of Seahawks, they beat.
It happened. We beat the Rams on a 1:00 game coming from the West Coast. They thought they were playing in before lunch or something. Morning.
It's already been determined that Virgil had the outcome of that game already planned. So,
speaking of the Seahawks, they beat the Vikings 26-0.
Oh my God. How bad is the Vikings? Brosmer was terrible. The entire team. Somebody said, I feel bad for Justin Jefferson.
Did you see they released Thielen too?
Yeah,
because he did nothing.
Yeah, I don't even know why he went back there.
Did the Steelers pick up Adam Thielen?
Yes.
Yeah, he wanted to play for a contender, and he went to the wrong team.
Right.
Isn't that what Mike said earlier?
Yeah.
Hey, he could have stayed with the Panthers. He didn't want to.
That's true. Speaking of Steelers, they lost to the Bills 26-7. And, man, there's really nothing to say about this game for the Steelers. Like, dear Lord.
Listen, Eric says it the best way that anyone could. Terrible.
Absolutely.
I think the best thing is that meme I sent you guys about Aaron Rodgers looking like the one of the guys from Home Alone after he got beat up.
Is Kansas not doing well, Eric?
I mean, they're still up, but they've lost the lead and they've been missing their last few shots. They can't hit anything right now. They're still winning.
Out, isn't he?
Yes, he's still out. That's a travel. No, the other that's a travel. Dude literally came up off the ground, came back down, and dribbled.
Man, it feels like baseball season again, doesn't it?
Why? Because he's watching something different?
Yes.
What game is he watching? What are you watching?
He's watching
UConn.
KU. Yeah, UConn and KU.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you did say that. Sorry.
In and out.
Did you enjoy the burger?
No, In and Out's gross.
Oh, okay.
Hold up.
Yeah, we did sign Cody Ponce. KBO MVP, baby. 3 years, $30 million.
Man, I did not see that.
Yeah, Cody, listen, I'll take starting pitching depth anytime we can get it. And I mean, we'll see if it works out. I think it's a low risk with the, $30 million, like weird saying that 30 million is like a low risk thing, but if you catch lightning in a bottle and he's figured out how to pitch, he hasn't pitched in the majors since 2021. But if he's figured it out, it's a good, it's a good low risk investment for the Jays, and it not only gives them starting pitching depth for this year, it also provides some security for if Gausman leaves in after this season, and if Barrios opts out, or it gives them depth to trade for some other needs. So it works in a few different ways. Not that I'm hoping that not that they're looking to deal Gausman or anything like that, but like Barrios could be, if they think he's going to opt out, he could be a trade piece. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Good to see that you're excited about that one.
Yeah.
Raiders lost to the Chargers 31-14. Herbert is out he had surgery on his non-throwing hand.
Could he be back this coming weekend, or is
he's planning to be? No, he's planning to be.
What Chargers offense are you going to get? And is Beeson going to say bolt up and then they don't show up again?
I mean, good possibility. So
yeah, I mean, he had surgery for whatever the broken bone. I don't know which bone he broke. Was it a finger or just in the hand itself?
I think it was just in the hand itself. I don't think.
Yeah, he had some kind of surgery yesterday, and they've said he is working towards playing.
And they should be getting Murray and Hampton back next week too, so that'll help boost that offense.
Well,
maybe
the next 5 games. This is their schedule.
Fantasy team, Virgil.
What? I'm saying.
They have the Eagles at home, at Chiefs, at Cowboys, Texans at home, and Broncos. That's
they're not making the playoffs.
That is not a good run to be facing right now, especially with even if it's non-throwing hand, your quarterback being somewhat injured. I just don't.
Does that scream 1-4 to anyone else?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, a win against the frauds. I agree.
Yeah. Wait, they're playing UC Davis?
No, they're the cowards.
The professional fraud.
Yeah. Sorry, I was like, bleeding Monday show into this one. Sorry.
Yeah. So speaking of that, the Broncos beat the Commanders 27-26 in overtime, not shaking the fraud allegations that I am still making to this day.
So are we going to start talking about how the Broncos had the NFL machine behind them?
What do you mean?
I mean, all these close wins, despite having a terrible offense, the Broncos have the NFL machine behind them, ensuring that they win and have, one of the best records in the NFL.
Are you saying that there may be a deal that was made?
I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, is there that possibility? Don't worry, Donnie's not going to let me run with that one.
With the Mississippi Valley State mascot or the Duke mascot?
Probably more the Central Connecticut mascot.
Okay.
But all I will say about this game, watch Treylon Burks catch. That's all you need to say.
Did you say watch Freddie Lundberg's catch?
That's not what I said.
All I know is the
say wrong
Broncos
sport.
looked good in this game. I'm surprised they gave up 26 to the Commanders.
I am too.
Yeah.
They did look really good.
Was that a Marcus Mariota led Commanders team?
Yeah, and Mariota, I mean, to his credit, he got the Commanders in position to win that game. They bull rushed him the last couple of plays down there close to the goal line. If he's in that ball that got batted down, all he had to do was pump fake. No quarterbacks do pump fake very good, except for Drake May, which we haven't gotten to yet. But if he'd have just pump faked that guy in the air and stepped to his side, he had the guy wide ass open for the score.
They should have. All they needed was Carson Wentz.
Oh Jesus!
Can't make Carson Wentz happen. And of course, the last game on Monday, Patriots beat the Giants 33-15. Donnie, since I know you watched this game from entirety for obvious reasons, what are your thoughts?
Patriots are legit good. I mean, the thing is, for all those years that they were really good, they were buttoned up because Bill didn't let anything come out the building. And this is my analogy I thought about earlier. When they're under Belichick, they were like IBM. Right now, they're like Google. These guys are having fun. They're playing good. Drake May is a really good quarterback. He pump faked some guys on some rollouts. Like he just sort of did a little like a little jiggle with the ball to get a guy moving, and it just made it easy. He's old school. He's really old school with the way he's playing.
Did Travion Buster run?
Yeah. I mean, both the running backs actually helped me fantasy wise.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know you're going after something that's way over my head, so I'm not even going there.
I mean, we can't ignore that Singletary also busted a pretty good run too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So,
He definitely did.
But Patriots are legit good.
And it helped. You said it helped in fantasy too, right?
In my fantasy league, yeah,
Okay,
helped
cool.
me beat Tom Thrash.
Okay, cool.
Because I needed both running backs and
That's a good question, Joe.
kicker.
I don't think I even know.
Oh my God, that was hilarious when that dude planted. I sent a meme to some friends of mine.
The former Falcons kicker.
Yeah,
Young Hook.
I sent a meme that I saw today to my friends. It said, "When you're waiting for the green to clear for that 250-yard shot."
Does this mean John Parker Romo is next?
I don't know, but the Giants are a hot mess right now. I mean, I think they've got something with Dart. If he could keep healthy, kid learn to play.
Yeah.
Right now he is your typical 20-something-year-old, whatever background he comes from, because the kid in the interview said like 50 million times. I'm like, dude, you got to get somebody to help you straighten out and mature a little bit here.
Man needs to go talk to Tua.
No, what he needs to do is he needs to talk to some of the former Giants quarterbacks that will tell him. Eli Manning needs to go in there and straighten this kid out. Is what he needs to do.
No, he needs to talk to the national treasure, Jameis Winston.
Well, I don't think he's listening to Jameis. I think Eli walks in there maybe, but
when I said earlier the hero we don't deserve, that's actually Jameis Winston.
A fun little side fact. I got going down a rabbit hole last week because I saw there's a 30 for 30 coming out on Stuart Scott next week.
Yeah. And
I met I've got a picture somewhere. I met Stuart Scott, got an autograph photograph with him.
Of course you did.
But anyway, I went down this little rabbit hole because the thing that got me going down the rabbit hole is they talked about in this documentary or the promo for it. You know, he got his start in local television in North Carolina, and me being the semantics and taking it a little personal, he actually got his start in local TV in Florence, South Carolina. So I wanted to be specific. So I started doing a little dig on him and saw that he had played football at North Carolina. So I was trying to look, hey, I know he graduated, I think my freshman year of college. And I looked back in 1986, Clemson played North Carolina at Clemson. So I was at that game. Unfortunately, Stuart Scott wasn't listed as a player on the team, But do you know who the quarterback was that day when I saw us beat Clemson or beat North Carolina at Death Valley my freshman year?
Johnny Unitas.
No. Drake May's dad, Mark. So I saw Mark May play quarterback for North Carolina.
The analyst that with Lou Holtz?
No. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, my word.
So
that's who I thought of, too, when he said Mark May.
Exactly.
And then when he said Drake May's dad, I said, how?
He wasn't adopted, I can tell you that. So, but anyway, I just went down this little rabbit hole and found out like Drake May's dad was quarterback at North Carolina the year I was a freshman in college and saw him play. But back then, he wasn't anything spectacular. I would have had no reason to remember that he was even the quarterback then. So anyway, that's my analysis on the Patriots and Giants.
All right. So let's now go over a pick that we have to do. We got a Thursday night game.
Picks?
Yes. We have Lions at Cowboys. Lions are a 3-point favorite, over under 54.5, and Detroit at 61.8% in the predictor.
That's Cowboys at Lions, by the way.
That is the second time I've done that. My gosh.
That changes a lot for me, actually.
It does for me, too.
I was like, wait a minute, that game's not in Dallas.
That's why we need producer Wise on here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but he's doing what he does whether Virgil's the producer or not. He's always researching whether or not Virgil is researching.
Mm-hmm.
That
honestly does change my pick.
Yep, me too. What about the flight path? I mean, like what's going on with the Dallas to Detroit flight path?
North south.
Nothing at 8:15 on a Thursday. Or 7:15.
I mean, I don't travel enough to know. I don't travel enough to know, so I need you to tell me.
Nothing. It has no effect.
You're a prophet.
And the weather is 72 degrees and clear. So couldn't ask for a better forecast for this game on a Thursday night in Detroit.
Isn't the game on a dome?
That's what I was going to say.
Hence my weather report.
All right. So,
I mean, there could be a slight breeze off of the home team side,
just
depending on how the air conditioning's turned up.
From those fans. Yeah. So, Cowboys at Lions. Ed has picked the Cowboys.
See, that would not shock me or surprise me one bit because I think they're going in the opposite direction ish. I could still easily see the Lions winning some games, the Cowboys losing, but at the same time, Cowboys have been playing a lot better. If that game actually was in Dallas, in Arlington, like Virgil said it was, I honestly would have gone with that. Being in Detroit, I think it leans a little more favorable for them. So give me the Lions.
Donnie.
Oh, man, I'll have you go to Patrick next. But
I need to know who to not pick.
I'm going to go Cowboys in this one. I
honestly think this could be a actual good Thursday night game.
I think it'll be a good game. The Cowboys are playing pretty good. The Lions are not sure if they're going to have Amon-Ra back yet. Not that he's the only thing.
I was going to ask if Amon-Ra is going to be back.
I actually was watching SportsCenter for the first time in I don't know how many years earlier before we got on, and I have Amon-Ra on my fantasy, which I'm trying to beat Justin Kish. So I was wanting to find out because they mentioned it, and they said he did not practice today, but he is still trying to make himself available. I don't know that he's going to, even if he is available, he's going to be very effective. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys because of that.
Good analysis, Lynn.
Oh, man, stole my joke. Patrick.
I'm with Prophet on this one. I'm going to go Detroit Lions. Wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys went in and won with the Lions struggles, but I don't know. At home, I just feel like Detroit's going to figure it out, do just enough. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Detroit's going to do just enough to win. So give me the Lions.
Yeah, the Brown injury kind of made me almost side with Dallas, but I'm still going to stick with the Lions.
Okay. Well, Lynn's comment kind of reminds me years ago, posted a picture of me and my brother at a Panthers-Cowboys game because my brother that lives here is a Cowboys fan. And my dad commented, well, my son's team's winning today.
Okay, so that's it for picks. We will have
pick Cotton. Let's see how that one plays out.
We will have college picks tomorrow. We'll have college and pro picks on Thursday. We'll have FCS picks, of course, for the next round. And, of course, we have conference championship picks. So should be a pretty fun episode to go through that. So before we call it a night, Eric, what do you have on Earn Fun Average this week?
So tomorrow, Johnny and I Earn Fun Average. We head to Richmond. No, not Virginia. Indiana. We have Trevor Amerson, the GM of one of the newest Northwoods Leagues team, the Richmond Flying Mummies.
I love that you guys are doing what you're doing with all these collegiate summer league teams. You guys
absolutely,
have really found a sweet spot with that. And I know you hate it when I say it's way above average, but I absolutely love that content.
And I know Beeson will be waiting for that one to drop.
He will be
because he'll love that.
Paul stole I'm pretty sure we honestly recorded before he did. He just put his out before us.
Yeah, I saw he just had one, a week or so ago. But I think he was kind of in at least according to his comments, so he was dropping a few of them like right after because he was going to be traveling. I think he was like recording and dropping right away.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was one of them. So that to me, I'm pretty sure we recorded prior to Paul, but obviously we had no communication about it. He just happened to release his sooner.
Well, I think yours will be more polished producing since you had more time.
That's right. Our average editing and skills and everything. So yeah, check out the Richmond Flying Mummies, and if you get a chance, get up to a game next year. First season.
I think that may be in the cards for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, support a team that's close to where Zach Beeson lives as well.
Yep.
I think that's like one of his local teams.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, is Hat History still on hold?
Yeah, it is.
So 2026 return?
Most likely at this point, yeah. Most likely at this point.
And Donnie, how about you? Got anything coming up?
The only thing I've actually got coming up is Rhonda bought tickets yesterday because some friends of ours were going, and I was like, man, I'd like to go to see that because it's been forever. So we're going Friday night to see the Harlem Globetrotters.
Are you taking your 4-year-old son?
I don't have a 4-year-old son. We are going with the councilman and his wife and their 11-year-old son.
Oh, wait. So, like Irmo Councilman?
Yes. Irmo Councilman Mike Ward and his family.
Councilman Ward?
Yes.
Please give Councilman Ward, the respectable councilman, my best.
I will. I have not seen them since I was a kid, and Rhonda's never seen them. And I'm like, I saw a commercial, and I was like, oh man, that'd be cool. And she said, well, Mike and Melissa are going, and I said, well, let's try to go.
So when you went, George Mikan was a Globetrotter?
No, when I went, no, not that far back. But okay. I got to see the Curly Neal, Meadowlark Lemon era. Yeah. Yeah,
I loved Meadowlark Lemon.
They're not the OGs, original OGs, but to me they are. They are the classic lineup of the.
Well, I was going to say Meadowlark Lemon. To me, I don't care if he wasn't original or not. He was like, when you think of the Globetrotters, those are the kind of players you think of.
Did you see Lynette Woodard play?
I have not.
She was she was the first female Globetrotter.
They didn't have any females back when I saw them play. But that would have been in the late 70s, early 80s.
Do you know where she's from and where she went to school?
She's probably from Wichita whenever you bring anybody up.
Mm-hmm. And where'd she go to school?
Bishop Carroll?
No.
I love that I can just name
Is it West Wichita?
That's not
Wichita West.
Wichita North.
Yes, correct. With Barry Sanders, My
Okay.
aunt went to school with Lynette Woodard.
Next time, Patrick, we just need to go north, south, east, west.
Well, the great thing is about, like, I've heard him talk enough about it. It's always Wichita something,
Yes.
Wichita direction,
Yes.
or it's Bishop Carroll, or it's
I love
Capon, who just won the state championship.
Cape and Mount Carmel, 1-4.
Yeah, Cape and Mount Carmel. Yeah.
I love that there's a north, south, east, west, and then there's, like, for good measure, northwest in there.
Well, but he's
And
only gonna bring it up.
northeast.
And northeast.
Southeast.
So southwest got
northwest.
left out.
Yeah,
and
Southwest
northwest.
there's not, because there's a Heights and then a Carroll and a Capon.
So there's 7 out of the 8 general directions represented.
Yeah, Southwest is not one of them.
So which school
They
is
add-
actually in the southwest of Wichita? Because
Well,
it's got
see,
to
that's
be
the
named something
thing.
else.
Because north is not really north. Northwest is not really northwest. West is more central. So when they started the schools, they were, but because Wichita's expanded so much, they're not in the correct geographical points of Wichita anymore.
So who's on first then?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Just rename the schools. I mean, what's the worst that can happen there? Also, I like the fact that Eric was disgusted that you would suggest it was Bishop Carroll.
Exactly.
Just the way it was.
Listen, it was worth being wrong just to get that reaction. But generally, Eric's only going to bring it up if A,
wow.
they're from Wichita, and B, if they're actually from the school that he actually attended, because he actually attended Wichita North.
I didn't know.
Even though his son goes to Wichita Northwest.
Yep. I didn't know Meadowlark Lemon had a spinoff group, the Bucketeers. That's interesting.
And Brees Hall, the running back of the Jets, went to Wichita Northwest.
Yeah. Barry Sanders went to Oklahoma State, right?
Yes, he did.
No, he went to Wichita North.
Well, he went to Wichita North and then he went to Oklahoma State, right?
Yes.
I wouldn't know.
He wasn't really much of a starter or that good in high school, honestly.
So he was like Michael Jordan
Basically.
at Laney High School.
Well, on that note, we're going to call this in for the show tonight. Please join us on Thursday when we'll go over the college, the conference championships and the NFL games, and of course our FCS and college picks. So have a good night, guys.